All right. What is going on, everybody? And welcome on in to a brand new episode of the Cinema Lords podcast. Episode number 13, coming to you guys off a nice, very much needed week off. It's been we've been grinding out here since we started this thing, doing a lot of shows, most weeks 2 a week for the most part. So we needed a little break after that Halloween show. I feel well rested. I'm ready to rip today. And I think I'm going to need it because we got a lot to get into today. Big show. We got 2 episodes of Andor to catch up on. We have a Black Panther 2 preview because it's finally release week for Wakanda Forever. I am super excited to go check that out this weekend. I cannot wait. And then we got a few other little tidbits to touch upon before we get into all that stuff. But before we dive in, let's go around the horn, find out who we're talking to today. On the ones and twos, you guys know him well. He's our aficionado of all things Westeros. But just because House of the Dragon stops does not mean he's stopped, because he's got his hands in all the pots. He's ready to talk about it all. Lukey, baby, what's going on?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on again, brother.
Of course.
We got another good lineup today. Andor's been killing it. Really like the turns it's taken, and lots of good news coming up, and happy to be back again.
Happy to have you. Couldn't do the show without you. And then also, you guys know him well, the utility man himself, co-hosting again today. He plays all the positions. He's got his hands in all the subjects. He knows it all. My good friend, Mr. Seth Rogers. What's going on, bud?
Hey, fellas. Good to be back after that week off, like you said. Thought it was much needed. Thought it was funny, though. I stole the show in the Halloween episode, won the draft, and then we magically have a week off. So think it's funny how that was just kind of correlated. Oh, yeah, we need a week off. But, no, very good to be back. Like Luke said, these Andor episodes were awesome. News in general. Ready to get into it. Let's get going.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Halloween episode, because that's exactly where I wanted to start off today's episode. I just had a couple of thoughts I wanted to share quickly about the episode. First and foremost, I want to thank anybody that took some time out of their Halloween weekend to watch it. I also want to double thank the people that took some time to share it as well, because that was an episode that I worked really, really hard on. I work hard on all the episodes. I think that a lot of people will tell you that see me do it. I try to do a lot, just prepping, trying to memorize as much stuff, the orders of shows. But that Halloween show was a little bit of an extra effort for me, making draft boards, rearranging this whole room, moving furniture around, fucking going out and buying a bunch of supplies to make a goddamn slop bucket, costumes. I put a lot of effort into that show, and I was happy to say I thought it went really, really well.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. Obviously, right up until our ending.
Potentially catastrophic.
Oh, man. Which, for those of you that watched, you guys will know that as we were literally closing out the show, the Halloween episode, my cats hit the power switch, cut the computer. And there was about a 5 to 7 minute period where I was in just disarray. Like I was on the verge of basically crying. I was like, I thought we lost the whole episode. I thought the whole thing was gone.
The face paint would have just washed away. Like the Vision face paint.
Oh, just tear streams of white going down the red makeup. I really thought we lost the whole entire show. Thankfully, we started the computer back up, and the computer was able to save everything right up until the moment of the power switch. So that was very lucky. Aside from that, I thought the show went really well. I actually went back and watched it myself, and I thought we did a great job. I had a lot of fun, and I think we're definitely going to do some more drafts, some stuff like that going forward in the future.
Yeah, going into like the holiday season too. It's easy to do.
Yeah,
holiday theme, whatever, just Christmas, whatever you want to do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, build more of an event around it than just doing it and overplaying it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But did you have a fun? You had a fun time doing it?
Oh yeah, it was a blast. Rewatching it again, looking at my draft, I was very happy with it. I think we were talking about it after. I agree. I kind of paid a little too much homage to the classics. I needed to throw in some more modern things. So my biggest slip up was going Blair Witch Project. I was going back and forth between that and Paranormal Activity. Yes. I think if I would have replaced that, had a little bit more modern, that was my only mistake of the draft, really. But I thought I got some great steals. Sidney Prescott as my hero, I was not expecting, and I think it was like the 4th round, whatever it was.
4th or 5th, it was late.
So yeah, I was overall happy with it, and it was a blast doing it. So
I gotta say, I was actually torn for a while. I was torn basically up until today about who I actually thought won between you and Los, and I want to let you know I officially wrote it down. Everything I finally came away and I said I thought Seth had the better draft. The double pick, the doubling up on Pennywise and It, I thought was a mistake.
He lost it a little bit halfway through.
I didn't love the main character from Jaws there. I can't think of his name. It's passing me right now.
Yep.
Brody?
Yep.
Yeah, Brody.
Yep.
That pick I didn't love.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, my one thing with your team, as I was looking at, I was like, this is a strong lineup. But if you, like you said, one more little head nod to something, you were nailing the classics. You were burying all the classics. which was nice. It came out with a nice, well-rounded team. I think you just needed a little sprinkle on top of the dessert. You know what I mean?
Little new stuff.
A little mutton. I think the Paranormal Activity for Blair Witch, that would have been a great call. I think that would have been a great one.
Yeah, and I was shocked too. Like I said, my biggest takeaway was I was shocked that there was nothing Halloween related. There was nobody picked Michael Myers as their villain. Nobody just picked Halloween as a whole. Laurie Strode as their hero.
We all must have been expecting the next guy to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And
crazy.
It never happened.
Crazy. Luke, did you happen to check out the Halloween episode?
I did. I think you guys did a great job. It was really funny, and also obviously some great lists you guys came up with. I agree. Seth ended up being kind of a runaway.
A landslide. Let's go, baby.
But Kalos had a solid list.
I thought Los had a solid team.
I think you and Kalos both just kind of went with your hearts, like you know.
I did big time.
You said you were calculating instead, going with vision, you know. But,
yeah.
But no, I think you guys went with your hearts, which ended up with fun lists and, you know, a list that you could feel like you could vote for on your own, maybe. But, but that's the fun of it, you know. You get to see everybody's different takes, and I think it's fun to dig a little deeper, too. Like, yeah, you missed out on a Halloween pick, but, you know, you've got a couple other random ones instead, you know.
Yeah, no, I feel like we had a really, really good time doing it. Like, while we were doing it, I was having a blast, you know what I mean? It felt like it went by like that, you know what I mean? It was like a 2-hour show, basically.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I had a really good time doing it. I was really happy with how it came out. Because, like I said, I put a lot of work into it. And I know you guys. I appreciate, you know, Seth, Luke, Los, Ledoux, all the guys for always putting in a lot of effort. Every time they're here, you guys are always prepared with a ton of stuff, you know what I mean? And I appreciate it. And it was just nice. It was nice, like we said, to have that week off afterwards. I feel like we earned it after that show. A lot of our shows have ended, just have Andor, and needed a little week off.
A little reset.
Yeah. Well, like I said, thanks to everybody that checked out that episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Be on the lookout for more draft theme events, something like that in the future. We'll be doing some more of those.
Yeah, if you missed it, definitely go back and watch it. Not one you want to miss.
Definitely do that for sure. The next thing I want to get into is something that I actually mentioned on Facebook. If you guys follow me on Facebook, if you're friends with me on Facebook, it's something that we're going to go right from the Halloween event right into another so-called, I guess, show event if you want. I have decided to do a giveaway for the pod. I'm going to completely come out of my own pocket, just my idea to give back to the people that are supporting the show, that are watching the show, and also to help try and grow growth. So right now we currently sit, I believe, at 55 subscribers on our YouTube page. When we get to 100 subs, 100 subscribers, the first 100 people, it's going to be locked at the first 100. So if you're 101, you're shit out of luck. But what I'm going to do when I get to 100, I'm going to go onto my YouTube page. I'm going to go get my subscriber, the whole list. I'm going to print out the whole list, and however it's easier, I'm either going to, cut the paper up into strands and just pull a strand out, or I'll do like ping pong balls, and the number will correlate to your subscriber number kind of a thing. We'll figure out the ins and outs, but that's something I'm going to do here. I'll do it on the podcast. I'll do the draw right on the show for you guys. And whoever's name comes out, $40 AMC gift card.
Love it.
Enough for
Nice.
2 people to go check out a movie, or you can go and binge by yourself, get yourself a popcorn, a candy, a soda. Well, a nice $40 AMC gift card. I know AMC's countrywide. So, like I said, 100 subscribers. It's on the YouTube page. So if you are somebody who watches these videos and don't have an account on YouTube, take 3 seconds out of your time, go make an account, click that subscribe button. That's all you got to do. Bang, you're in. If you're someone that listens more on iTunes or Spotify, take a second, go on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, bang, you're in. Even if you have some friends, you know what I mean? Go ahead, tell your friends, hey, even if you don't listen to the show, go subscribe to this channel. I don't really care. We'll figure out, but like I said, we'll do the drawing on the show, and then I'll contact that person. We'll figure out, how about we're gonna get them their gift card. But 100 subscribers, the countdown is on for that. Like I said, I think we're about at 55 right now. So
What's the prize?
$40 AMC gift card.
Nice.
Which is going to be nice. Like I said, enough for 2 tickets or one person to go out there and binge by themselves.
I was gonna say, if you're like some of the viewers, you can watch 2 movies by yourself there versus taking somebody else out there.
There you go. Yeah, there you go, for sure. However you want to do it. Like I said, a little way to hopefully, like I said, get back to the people that have been supporting the show, because a lot of people have been. A lot of people have been showing a lot of love for the show, and I appreciate it. And then, like I said, maybe help get a little bit more growth going on. You know what I'm saying?
Grow that growth.
That's right, baby. That's right. So from there, let's get into topics. I got 2 things for news. 2 actually pretty big things for news, I would say. One of them I was very excited about since the last time we talked to you guys. A show that I've mentioned a few times that I'm very excited for is The Last of Us. And we finally got our release date coming to HBO January 15th. Wow. Just over 2 months away. November 8th, I believe, today. So
Right.
fucking 2 months and a week away, baby. I am so fucking excited. I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
That's going to be sick.
How about Pedro Pascal, too? He starts that off, and then Mandalorian. I think
Right
Mandalorian's
after.
February, right?
February, yeah. It's
So
gonna be Pascal window.
he's just sitting back, kicking his feet up, just watching the royalty checks come in.
No shit.
Good for him. That's a great way to start the year.
I cannot wait. And they
Do we
released
know
a,
episodes yet? Like how many?
I think it's gonna be 9. Yeah, they did.
9.
It was nine episodes, which is a nice length. I like that.
Yeah.
I like 9. I can get down with 9. And I think I'm very curious to see if they're gonna do like the whole, like say like the whole first game in one.
I was just going to
season,
ask you
or if
that.
it's
Do you
gonna
think
be
season
2
1 would
seasons.
just be The Last of Us, just the first game, and then if it gets to a season 2, they just do
I
The
would
Last of
prefer
Us
them
2?
to flush it out the right way, and
Right.
I can think of a couple of good leadoff points for season 1
Yeah.
to go into season 2. I think it'd be better off as a 2-season show. For
With
the first-
like
for
a
the first
game per game. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
for the
Nice.
first game.
Yeah.
I think that, like I said, the storytelling in this is it's masterclass. Like I said, you can put it in any media. A lot of video games have such like just corny writing all of the
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean? Even good
Yeah.
games, but the writing would just be like it seems like it's written by like a 3rd grader in
Yeah.
crayon. You know what I mean?
Bad voice acting.
Yeah, it's just all kinds of shit. This game, man, is like I said, it's mastercraft storytelling.
You got to have some meat on the bone with the games. I feel like, to have these like successful seasons. Like, what was it? I saw Gears of War. They're starting to do a Gears of War. They're gonna make a television show on Gears of War. Like, what is there to do on that?
Cool. I mean, it's a
You
cool
know what I mean?
concept.
Like, it
I can get
is.
into it. I could get into a lot of these things. They just did it right. Like, look at how. I mean, Halo was a fucking debauchery.
That's what I'm saying. How can you think it's gonna be well? You know what I mean? I don't know. Based on the track record, I can't imagine that something like Gears of War will do well. Like I said, Last of Us, there's enough meat on the bone there where you can have a good storyline.
You know, it was a movie that a lot of people didn't like. A lot of reviews weren't that good. I didn't watch it until a while after it came out, and I ended up liking it. Was Assassin's Creed. I actually thought that movie was pretty fucking awesome. I watched it. I was like,
I ever
I
got
don't
to
get
it.
it. Why did everybody hate this movie? I was like, this was fucking cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty like Assassin, like the whole thing. They did the whole thing. They did the. You guys played the Assassin's Creed game?
Oh, yeah.
They did like the Animus and all that shit. I was like, this is fucking
Nice.
awesome. I was like, I don't. Michael Fassbender's like the.
I was trying to
lead
think of who
assassin
it
and
was.
stuff.
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, it's fucking.
Altair
It's
or
cool. He's
whatever.
wicked cool. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what everyone's complaining about. I was like, it's fucking. I thought it was pretty cool.
That could be a franchise there. They've done.
They're doing Netflix is doing a series. They own the rights. They have an Assassin's Creed series coming to Netflix. I think it's 2023 actually. I think it's fall of 23 or something like that. Because they already announced that a while ago. I know it's 23.
That's all I need too.
They
It's
take
just
their time.
cool.
Yeah.
Like just cool. Like even it's got terrible reviews. I've never minded the movie is Doom. You know what I mean? I don't, like I just need like is it not? Is it a good movie? No, probably not. Is it entertaining? Do you get a cool first person shooter scene
Wicked
that's
sick.
like the best scene of the whole movie?
One of
Yes.
the coolest things I've seen of
Just
all time.
need something
Still,
that I
love
can leave
scene.
and I'm like, oh, cool. All right, like, that was a fun movie to watch.
Yeah. The only Halo did a little bit of the first person thing a couple times.
Yeah.
That was the problem. They did it like 2 times over the course of 10-hour episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, what are we doing here? It's
Yeah,
supposed to be
can't have
Halo.
that. Yeah.
It was Halo the soap opera. It was wild. It was really, really bad. Very disappointing. And to think we almost rushed this show to get started so that we could cover that show. Thank God we didn't. We were going to cover that and Moon Knight. We almost rushed this podcast to do 2 shows that I fucking despise. And
water.
the Batman, which I also despised. We would open it with a lot of hate from me. But that was very interesting. And then you actually touched on Pedro Pascal. That's the second piece of news. I don't know if he's going to be in it at all, but I saw November 12th, which is Saturday, the 3-year anniversary of Mandalorian. They are coming out with a Grogu short on Disney+.
I did see that. Yeah.
I guess it accidentally got slipped in Italy or something like that. They accidentally put one of the thumbnail things on the thing for a second, and it got word spread around. But
Did that make them rush it up, or was it always?
I think it was
November
always set for
12th?
that day, but I think they were gonna. I think they were almost gonna cold do it, just like, hey, you wake up on
Surprise.
fucking- yeah,
Yeah.
and then because of that, they ended up having to basically
Nice.
announce it.
Is it like probably like what 10, 15 minute?
I would imagine so.
Short.
One short,
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes, something
Yeah.
like that. But
If it's anything like how Tales of the Jedi was, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
because that was awesome. We'll get into it a little bit, but
we shall.
those
We
like
shall.
quick 10, 15 minute short ones. Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely into it. Give me all the Baby Yo content available.
If it's just him going around like catching frogs or whatever, sure, I don't
Whatever,
care.
I'll watch it with a big fat smile on my face. I'll be sitting there, be like, "This is awesome." I love it. Give me all the Baby Yo. But
It's still going to be like Baby Yoda too. It's not going to be like a different part of his lifetime or something.
no, I don't think so. It just said It said Grogu short. So maybe it could, I guess it could be. Like I said, they didn't announce any details, and I think the only reason they announced it at all was because there was an accidental, leak. Like I said in the the Italy Disney Plus platform.
Gotcha.
So be on the lookout for that on Saturday morning. Nice little way to wake up.
good, man.
Saturday morning cartoon.
Right there you go.
Right.
Get back in the DeLorean, crank it up to 88 miles an hour, baby. From there, I basically wanted to get into my recommendations, which we're a little kind of recommendations, not just to go and check out anything, but recommendations also for the show. Things that we're going to be kind of covering going forward, I think. Not like super in depth, like we did with, House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, but 10, 15 minutes kind of thing. But before we get into those, first things first, Roku, which I ended up getting illegally, which the man himself told us to do so, but we'll get there. Roku released their first movie, The Weird Al Yankovic Story. Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al.
Okay.
And then Evan Rachel Woods, who you'll know as the girl from Westworld.
Just got canceled.
Yeah, she plays Madonna. And the whole movie is just a ginormous parody on Weird Al Yankovic's life.
The irony.
Fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like, I fucking loved it. Harry Potter crushed it. Daniel Radcliffe, he was awesome. Like I said, he's Weird Al. He crushed it. I was fucking dying the whole movie. It reminded me, I talked so highly about it on the pod earlier, but came out this year. The Nicolas Cage movie there, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Like I said, that whole thing was just like a parody of Nicolas Cage's life. I this was like the same thing, but for Weird Al Yankovic.
So it wasn't like a biopic, not like how the Bohemian Rhapsody was.
No, it was a biopic if you gave it LSD.
It was Weird Al Yankovic making a biopic.
Yes, exactly. It's what. Yes,
parody of a parody.
It was so fucking funny though. I loved it. I thought it was fucking great. I came away and I was just like, that was awesome. I gave it like an 8.4. I said I really enjoyed it. I was laughing the whole way through. Evan Woods there as Madonna was really good too. She was fucking cracking.
I didn't think she was in it because I remember seeing the little snippets from it, but never even knew she was going to be in it or be Madonna.
Yeah, she's Madonna, but she's like the version of Madonna who's just out for herself like the entire movie. But she killed it. It was very funny. Nice. The whole thing was very funny. One of the guys from Queen comes in. He's played by the Polka Dot Man. He's the bassist, the bassist of Queen.
Yeah.
He's like in a party. He comes in, but it's the Polka Dot Man. And then there's another guy who's like, his name's like Jack the Wolf Man. He's some kind of like big guy in Hollywood. And he's played by Jack Black. So they're basically like giving the Third Degree, like make up a song like right now. And sure enough, he just like does it. And the whole body's like going crazy.
Nice.
Like, that was the most beautiful song I've ever fucking heard in my life. Dude, I was dying laughing. I realized that this whole parody movie thing, if this is gonna be a new thing, this is right up my alley. Yeah. 2 for 2. I love both of them when I saw this shit.
Nice.
But definitely go check that out. And like actually I was mentioning, it's on Roku, which obviously I don't have. I don't know how many people do. Weird Al Yankovic himself was just like basically he said I can't remember what his exact quote was, but basically just said like it'll be easy enough to fucking go pirate, just go pirate it. I know it's on a weird service. It was the only one that would make the movie basically.
Fuck you, go watch it.
Find a way.
No loyalty.
I'm sure it'll be coming to more platforms sooner or later. They'll be trying to cash in, sell it around. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like I said, the other two things I want to mention are things that we're going to cover. First, Tales of the Jedi, Disney Plus series on Disney Plus. Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi, 6 episodes.
Yep.
I watched the first 3. Yep. I'm into it. I'm invested. Like I said, definitely want to go check that out. I think we'll talk about it a little bit more once we finish it up. Did you finish it yet?
Yeah,
you finished it. You wrapped it.
The second 3 were, in my opinion, better than the first 3.
Okay.
So I'd like to see where you're at with it. I think the 4th one, it's either the 4th one or the 5th one too. There's one that the cast is loaded for a 20-minute. So they have Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson comes back.
Mace Windu's like on the
so Mace Windu's in. So I think it's the following episode. But Liam Neeson comes back as Qui-Gon. He has his role.
Young Qui-Gon.
Yeah, young Qui-Gon.
Nice.
Bryce Dallas Howard from like the Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She's in it too. I'm gonna butcher the name. It's like I think like Waddle or something. It's like a female Yoda.
Yaddle?
Yeah. Yep. That's played by Bryce Dallas Howard. I think they're all in the same episode.
Oh,
yeah,
that's exciting.
That's who she plays. But yeah, it was very good. I thought it was gonna be more just like a character or like origin story per episode.
Yeah.
So I'm a little it was interesting how they did it.
I got you.
But I love that it was kind of centered around Count Dooku. Nobody really knew how Count Dooku turned to the dark side.
No.
So this is their first little taste of it too.
Signs right away though. I've only seen the first 3, but right away you already get signs right away. So you kind of see him. You already get a little hint of that shit going on.
The guy who plays, I don't know his name, but he sounds like Severus Snape, wicked bad. He sounds like Alan Rickman. Yeah. So bad doing it.
R.I.P. in peace. Speaking of R.I.P. in peace, we just lost Hagrid. You know who else died today? I saw 98 years old. I can't remember his name, but the actor that he does the voice of the Sorting Hat.
No, was he?
Yeah.
Wow.
98 years old.
No kidding.
Good for you, man.
No.
Yeah. Passed away. 2 guys from the Harry Potter universe in a couple weeks, though. Sad.
Bad things come in 3s.
Oh Jesus! Don't even say that, because instantly my heart thumps, and I'm like, I swear to God, if something happens to McGonagall, I'm gonna be inconsolable for a fucking week or two. Let me tell you something. You guys are gonna show up to do the pod. I'm gonna be under a blanket just watching Harry Potter, fucking just crying.
But yeah, Tales of the Jedi was, like I said, is very good. I wanted more. I was kind of upset that it was only 6 episodes and
short episodes.
And like, I thought it was gonna be half hour, but they
short.
weren't even. They were like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
18,
I think
20
they're even
minutes.
shorter than that, because they have the credits too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You got to mix those in there and shit. So you're only getting like 13, 14
Sure.
minutes, kind of.
Yeah.
I really liked the first one with Baby Ahsoka. That's the one out of the 3 that I've actually liked the most
Yeah.
so far out of the 3.
That was very good.
The whole series is kind of centered around her too, apparently more than any other character. I feel like.
Yeah. They kind of
She's
go
in like 3 at least.
Have you finished it too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, she comes back around. Like the last episode, I think is the
Definitely
biggest
the best
one.
one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it
I
way
mean,
too much.
yeah,
but-
no.
the one with Dooku and young Qui-Gon is sick too, though.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. The fact that they had Liam Neeson come back and
yeah, that was cool.
just had like a couple lines, but it was very good.
See, there you go. So we got 2 co-recommendations right there from 2 guys that have finished the thing. I'm halfway through. I'm enjoying it. And like I said, we're going to probably discuss it a little bit more next week when we have a few less topics to talk about.
Yeah.
We don't have 2 episodes, you know what I mean? We also don't have Black Panther to get into as well. But we'll have a little bit more time next week. We'll dive into those 6 little episodes a little bit further.
20
you know what I mean?
like 20 minutes long.
Yeah,
just
go check them out.
watch
They're fun.
'em.
Good watches.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I wanted to mention for you guys to check out that we're going to be, I think, talking about going forward here on the pod, especially probably next week. Now, give everybody a week to catch up and stuff. I know you guys have started checking. Oh, you checked it out already a little
Yeah.
bit. Luke, I think, is going to. HBO started last season. This is season 2, The White Lotus. I watched season 1 last summer. It did very, very, very well. It won a ton of Emmys. I know it cleaned up. People loved it. My girlfriend Steph, she loved it. I liked it. I liked the premise. I liked the vibe. I know you just started watching season 1. How many episodes did you say you watched? 4?
4. Yeah, honestly, 5 and 6 will probably be done tonight. To be honest,
Nice, so
when
you're
I come
liking
home,
it
just
a
gonna
lot.
rip through it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like like I said, I like the premise. I like the vibe. This weird kind of mysterious sort of what's going to happen ambiance. It's always constantly in the air. But basically, you get this White Lotus. It's the name of the resort. In season 1, it's in Hawaii. In season 2, we're in Sicily. But basically, we follow vacationers that are in this resort, for however the show lasts. So say like a week or 10 days, kind of a thing. And you see how these stories kind of intermingle and chaos kind of ensues. Like I said, the first season, while I liked all of it, I liked the idea and all of that, I felt it was a little slow. I felt, not like slow, but I wanted more like events, I guess. Like more, you know what I mean? More fireworks, I guess. Season 2, I think we're going to get that. It seems like they know how good they did. I think they probably get a little bit more budget. And I think that it seems like things are already in place. Like the first season is very kind of just plain. The second season, I think we're going to have some murder, which I'm...
That was sick, yeah, because this first season seems a little bit more like comical.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same in season 2.
Same vibe as season 2, for
Yeah.
sure. Yep. It's also one of those shows that different cast. The only returning character in season 2 is Jennifer Coolidge, who you may know as Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
That's what I call her
Yeah.
all the time, Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
She's hilarious too. I just
she
watched
is.
the episode. She had the melt. She was gonna release her mother's ashes into the boat, and then just like had an absolute meltdown and didn't do it.
She's a kooky one in that show,
Yeah.
man. But she's the only returning character from season 1, which I think is a hit.
Okay.
Like, obviously, I had to imagine that she probably tested above all of the other characters by far from
Yeah,
season 1.
it's true.
Except for maybe the hotel manager. He was really good.
He's very funny too. Yeah,
He's the other really good one. But aside from that, Aubrey Plaza, she's in this season. She's
did see
obviously
that, yeah.
a pretty big name. And then, Christopher Moltisanti
nice.
from Sopranos.
Yep.
Michael Imperioli. He's in it this season as well. There's a couple of other people. I know there's a girl from Gossip Girl that's in there. I can't remember her name, but good cast. And like I said, this second season, I'm much more into it already. It's only been 2 episodes, Sunday nights, 9 o'clock. Literally stole the House of the Dragon time slot.
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah. Like I said, the first season did really, really well. Like I said, I know it cleaned up on Emmys. I think Jennifer Coolidge actually won one for her character.
Oh, nice. What was your most what storyline were you the most without getting too much into it? Because Luke, I said I know you haven't watched it yet, but what was the most interesting
Season
one?
1, I mean, I can tell you what I wasn't. It was Dondarria and her husband there.
The Honeymooners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honeymooners, they did nothing for me at all.
See, I'm kind of interested because the first episode, again, I'm not trying to spoil too much, but the very first scene, he's flying home and they say they're bringing a body onto the plane.
Yeah.
And he's by himself. So I still like remember that, and
I
like
got
the
you.
honeymoon's not going too well, so I'm like,
I'm glad you said that because I haven't seen that first season in a while. I'm glad you just reminded me of that because season 2 actually opens up in a very similar fashion.
Is it?
And
Yeah.
I forgot all about that until you just
so
said that.
that's the only thing that I'm interested in is that I just remember him not being like his wife isn't with him
Right.
in like the first season, like first scene of the whole thing.
Yeah, Alexandra Daddario.
Yep.
Smoke.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I don't even know the most interesting. They're all just kind of interesting.
The hotel
it's just
manager
funny.
to me, every time he was on screen, I kind of perked up in my seat a little bit. I fucking thought he was hilarious.
Yeah.
Just him, like, with being able to just be, like, so high when he's around the customers to just being like, you motherfucker. Fucking,
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean? As soon as he's behind a closed door. That really cracked me up. I like Jennifer Coolidge's character, too. Those are
Yeah,
probably the
she's
two that I
very
was
funny
most
too.
into.
The guy who felt like he's worried about if he has cancer or not, and then
Oh, yes. Yes,
and then thought that his dad did and didn't,
That's
and then
right.
they explained to him why. It's just wicked funny.
That's right, yes. I can't think of his name, and it's Coach Taylor's wife there, too. That's his
Yeah,
wife in that show.
that's his wife. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, season 1, I liked it. But every episode, I kind of came away like I wish something
You're
more
just like,
happened.
oh, okay.
But the second season, I think we're in for a little bit more fireworks. Like I said, it's been 2 episodes so far, so you guys can go catch up on that. We'll talk about it a little bit more next week. But I'm interested in this season, big time.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued by it. Very, very intrigued. And also, like you said, first season Hawaii, second season Italy. If there's one thing even about
I didn't know it was
kinda
just
like that-
different places.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Same, whatever, like brand of hotel,
Yeah.
obviously, but
Nice.
different locations. But both of them, that's like one of the things I was going to say. Especially, season 1 wasn't a huge fan of all of the storylines or whatever, but everything always looked beautiful. Same thing in this season.
Yeah.
Like they were doing the whole island thing, obviously in Hawaii. Now we're kind of like in Italy and we're in Sicily, like I said. So there's still the Mediterranean vibe, but sometimes they're in like the little, the little downtown section of Italy
Yeah.
with all the old school
So it's more like
buildings and
I
stuff.
don't say villagey, but I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that old school towny vibe from it's really cool. I really enjoy it. The show looks beautiful, really nice, just pleasant to the eye to watch. You know what I mean?
As well as Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
Yeah, Sydney
first
Sweeney in season 1.
Dumps them out.
Not in this show.
I hope so.
Not
No?
in this show.
Damn it.
No, sorry. You'll have to tune into Euphoria for that one. But I think from there we'll go into Black Panther. Yeah.
Yes. Let's do it.
Let's talk some Black Panther because I am very, very, very excited. I think I'm going to be rewatching the first one tomorrow night. I think is my plan. I believe I'm going to dive into that, which I love the first one. I think I have
Yeah.
it. I always keep I keep forgetting to bring in my Marvel list when I do these shows, but I think I have it. I want to say 5th in my Marvel rankings. I
Wow,
wanna
that's
say.
high up. I'd probably put top 10 towards the bottom of 10, but yeah, up there.
I want to say I got it 5th. If it's not 5th, it's right around 6, 7.
Yeah.
It's right in that area. I know that. Well, I love the first one. I'm very, very, very excited for this one for so many reasons. I mean, the trailers I think have been awesome. First of all,
Yeah, that first one was phenomenal.
awesome. Yeah, the music
Yeah, it
was
was so
unbelievable. I'm so intrigued to see how they handle the Chadwick Boseman passing, the passing of how they do it in the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How does T'Challa go? Kind of a thing. I'm very excited to see, obviously, what we're going to do with the torch now. There's been a lot of passing of the torch in the MCU lately, but I definitely don't think that was going to be one of them for the plans. I think he was.
Yeah,
obviously
this is the
gonna
only
be
one
kind
they
of a
haven't
staple.
expected for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they were setting him up to be kind of like him, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. I think those three
That's
were
the
going to
new Iron Man,
the new
Captain
Captain America.
America,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But I think those were going to be the guys that they introduced from the first, the first saga.
Yep.
That they were going to carry and to kind of be like your new leaders, kind of.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm very excited to see who's going to pick up that mantle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that definitely because I talked to you about her a lot. I've already been a huge Shuri fan. Like massive. I think that we're gonna see her character develop faster than they probably normally would have done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
She'd only been kind of sprinkled in here and there so far.
Yeah.
She's a big part of the first movie, the Black Panther movie,
Right.
but the rest of them just kind of sprinkled in. I think that obviously she's gonna
Big coming out party
much
for her.
bigger
Yeah.
part of this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah.
One thing that I mentioned, I know I've mentioned it to you before, that I think I'm looking to see in this movie. I'll bet that it happens. I'll put $10 on it without a problem, $20 on it without a problem. I think we're going to get a reference to Tony Stark. I think we're going to get a reference in the sense that I've said before, I think that Shuri and Tony Stark had a friendship that was off screen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
the biggest thing that I come to that I think I've mentioned it to you, but in the Black Panther movie, you've seen the Black Panther movie, obviously, right? So Shuri, in the beginning, she shows T'Challa his new necklaces, right? The necklaces using nanotechnology create the suit. Right after that, we immediately see Tony Stark in Infinity War, the beginning of that New York battle where he's with Doctor Strange and Wong and Bruce. He pulls the strings on his hoodie, and nanotechnology creates a suit covering him. So don't you think that's a wild coincidence that two different people would never have met and somehow have the exact same suit design at almost the exact same time?
Right.
No delay in time at all. You know what I'm saying? Like we see one and then bang, we see the other one right after it.
So you don't mean like Easter egg homage, like you mean like flat out kind of just
story point.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
I think that especially we're going to get the introduction of Riri Williams, who's going to be Ironheart. She's going to be getting her own series. This is going to be her introduction into the MCU. She is basically a Iron Man super fan. Using technology from Wakanda and being best friends with Shuri, she's going to basically start creating her own suit. She's supposed to create, I think, 2 suits in this movie, the Mach 1 and the Mach 2.
And you already have that kind of Easter egg, like in the trailer when she's banging out the Ironheart thing. It's the same thing as when Tony Stark's making the suit.
You get that, and then you also get her vision of like her piloting, like how Tony Stark is all the time when he's like talking to Jarvis inside the suit. Like his is all blue, I think it is. Hers is all red, which is kind of cool. I like it. But I'm very, very. I think that we're gonna find out that Shuri and Tony Stark were kind of like we're cool. You know what I mean? And we never actually no, you never see them like on screen together because in Infinity War he is off in space.
Right.
He's not part of the team that goes to Wakanda.
She's on Wakanda trying to reprogram Vision.
So exactly. So they've never even had the opportunity to say like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? Like, good to see you in person."
Yeah,
finally,
right. Like it's you finally.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think with the introduction of Riri being such a Tony Stark super fan, I think there's going to be a reference to, like I said, that her and Tony had been friends and had a relationship previously. Like I said, not probably, but off screen.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They're the 2 smartest scientists in the world at that point, right? They're
Bruce Banner maybe, but they're all the same, same level of intelligence.
Yeah,
that part in Infinity War is so funny to me when Bruce Banner shows up and she basically is just like, why didn't you just do this? It would make it like way simpler. And Bruce is just like,
because we didn't
think of it.
Yeah, that's true too.
But that's like,
maybe Tony shared some time travel stuff with her, and she shared some nanotech with him. That's how the good guys should work together.
Yeah, it makes total sense that the most like advanced society, and we had not only the most advanced society in Wakanda, we had the most like advanced scientist in Wakanda, so the most advanced of the advanced, talking to, like you said, the next smartest person basically on the planet.
Right.
Somebody who could fund the technology.
True. Good point.
I'm just glad.
Actually, I don't think Wakanda's hurting for money.
That's true. Yeah, I'm sure they're doing well for themselves.
Yeah,
but
they're doing it.
I'm just glad that it's not like if you saw the original premise for it, it was supposed to be like how T'Challa's dealing with the post Thanos snap.
Yes.
I'm kind of glad, and this isn't. I'm not trying to say anything bad about like Chadwick Boseman or T'Challa or anything, but I'm glad that this isn't the premise of this movie. Mm-hmm. I feel like I didn't really need to see that. If that makes sense, like I'd rather just see like the next step in the Marvel. Like I'd rather see this be the beginning of Phase 3 versus this being like the end of Phase 2, and that's what it seemed like the original premise was.
Right.
Was like this is the final character that they're showing that's dealing with the post Thanos snap and like this world after that. So I'm kind of glad that's not the premise. Like that's not the premise of it.
Ryan Coogler, the writer and director of the movie, while obviously he had to go and rewrite a whole new script, he said that the original script was still very much very grief oriented.
Yeah.
Dealing with struggle, dealing with heartache, dealing with grief. So I think there's still a lot of those same vibes in this.
Different grief.
A whole new script.
Yeah. But
speaking of Ryan Coogler, I watched a very cool little, just like a 2-minute behind the scenes thing. It was all just basically the cast, and every single person on the cast was like they were ready to fucking die for this.
Go for war, go to war with them. Nice.
Yeah, they were just like there was like so much praise, and you could just like hear it in the way they were talking. You know what I mean? They just had like the utmost respect, just like not like him as a storyteller, him as a director. But Shuri, shout out Latita Wright, she even said, she was like, Ryan Coogler is a man who must be protected at all costs. I love this girl.
It's like Kevin Feige and Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, he's also working on the Creed movies, which I mentioned. He directed the first 2. Who's now being stepped in for Michael B. Jordan. But he's still like, I think he helped co-write it. I think he produced it and all that stuff. So still a part of it. But talented guy. Along with Ryan Coogler returning. We got Angela Bassett returning, still Queen Ramonda. She's going to obviously have, I think, a bigger role.
Yeah,
based on
huge.
the trailers, it looks like
Yeah.
she's going to have a bigger role. Letitia Wright, Shuri returning.
Yep.
Lupita Nyong'o, Nakia returning. Then we got Dora Milaje, Dania Gurria, Florence Kasumba, Okoye, and Ayo, both returning.
Kind of like that typical. I don't want to say like she's the comic relief of Black Panther, but I feel like
does,
that's what
yeah,
she.
yeah.
You know what I
She-
mean?
she
Like
does. She brings
gets a
some of
couple
that.
laughs in there.
She's supposed to be having her own series. Okoye is supposed to be having her own series. I don't know if they're gonna. Hopefully, it's one of those things that they turn into like a special.
Yeah.
I could get behind. It's supposed to be like basically before she's in the Dora Milaje.
Oh, okay.
I think she was a part of a different group before that. I think she was fighting somewhere else, kind of a thing. So I was like, I think she's a badass. I love her. So I
Yeah.
could totally get into like a special or something like that about
Yeah.
her in the past time.
I feel like she deserves one.
Yeah, she's fucking cool. I like her. And I don't know. I think a lot of these people in Black Panther are going to take. Everyone's going to have to step up their game
Yeah.
a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be one person. I think everyone's going to have to elevate themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got Winston Duke and M'Baku. I loved M'Baku. Loved him. A lot of people were calling for him to be the next Black Panther. I know that was a very popular opinion online. Simply based off the trailers, that's not going to happen just because there's no way that
Size
man is
size
that
alone.
simple.
Yeah. I don't care what kind of Stark technologies you got going on in fucking Wakanda. I ain't covering that.
But very happy to see him back. I think he's going to have a little bit of a bigger role as well, definitely. Though he was a pretty big part of the first movie.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It seems
I think
like
where his
he
role
left for a
is
while, but he
fine.
came back.
I'm glad that they're not changing his role around.
Yeah.
I feel like his role is good right where it is.
Yep.
They don't need to change him.
And then speaking of comic relief, we got Martin Freeman back also. Back as Everett Ross, who I liked in the first movie.
Yeah.
He was fucking funny. I like him a lot. A lot of people know him from Fargo. That's Steph loves him in Fargo. She loves that guy. Every time she sees him now, she's like, "Oh, look, it's him." She gets so stunned.
Bilbo Baggins.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here.
In the Hobbit. Yeah.
Oh,
In the Hobbit. Not the old.
shit,
Sorry. Not
shit.
not the Lord. Not the Fellowship of the
All
Ring.
right, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
In the
I'm
Hobbit,
with you.
it says, yeah.
All right, I got you. I watched those first two, but honestly, like I tried to black them out. I tried
Yeah.
to
No, it's tough to.
pull
Yeah.
them out of my brain and throw them away.
Yep.
The other Bilbo.
Yeah, yeah. And then we get some new people. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, Dominique Thorne going to be Riri Williams, Ironheart. First look at her. Very excited for that. We got Tena Kureta, Namor, Mabel Cadena, Namor, his little sidekick companion, and then Alex Livani, who's going to be the guy who I think is kind of seems like he also wants to have he wants Namor's spot as well, basically.
Yep.
So what I was picking up a little bit online, it seems like Namor, while he's going to be the bad guy, seems like he's not going to be like super. What is it, anti-hero?
Anti-heroes.
Anti-hero.
What they're looking for. Yeah.
First mutant going to be in the MCU, so that's exciting because we know the X-Men are coming, just a matter of time. But this is going to be the first mutant confirmed we have in the MCU, and like I said, it seems like he's going to have probably more of a role going forward. I would imagine if they're not going to make him a full-blown villain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It seems like right now he's the. I don't know. Like he's kind of like the puppet. Not the puppet, but he's doing the work for Atuma. I think Atuma is going to end up being like the big villain, and I don't know if he's going to last this movie, maybe going forward. But
Okay.
It seems like Atuma is like the leader of this right undersea world.
Yeah.
And Namor is kind of like I said, he's just like the guy that's again he's not getting his strings pulled or anything, but he's the one kind of doing the talking and this, that, and the other. So like it seems like prediction wise, I would think by the end of the movie, I think he kind of. Like you said, he doesn't turn into a full hero, but I don't think he's going to, Namor's going to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to end up being Atuma that they're fighting by the end of the movie.
I got
Because they're also kind of keeping him under wraps a lot. I feel like I haven't seen Atuma that much in the trailers or anything like
just,
that.
like, quickly.
So I think it'd be, I kind of think that they're keeping him under wraps until the movie starts, but I think he's going to end up being, like, the main villain in it.
Tell you one thing, I got his fucking Funko Pop already. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, he's also awesome looking.
Sick.
Yeah, he's also awesome looking.
Namor does too. I got both of them.
Yeah.
They both look awesome. They look
Yep.
like a gangster. But this movie looks so awesome. It reminds me, the Avatar 2 trailer and the underwater scenes look like, I feel
Yeah.
eerily similar.
Yeah,
I don't know if
they
they're
really
using the
do.
same technology or whatever. Supposedly James Cameron went to fucking like college again all over for like 10 years to learn how to shoot underwater just to do Avatar 2.
Impressive.
Yeah, no shit. But this movie looks just as good in the trailer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It looks wild.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of looks, that's another big reason why I'm excited for this movie. I love Wakanda.
Yeah.
All like the way it looks. I love everything about it. The vibe, the dress, the garb, the colors, the jewels. I love all of it. I
Yeah,
love
some of the
culture.
scenes
I
they're
just
showing
love it.
too look Like they look so good. Like when Shuri, she looks like it's kind of like a temple thing. I don't know if it's for T'Challa or what with like the flames and it's like almost underwater. But like that looks awesome too. They look so good.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
very very excited. Going to be probably checking it out on like Saturday, I would say. But what do you think about? I know they keep obviously they're not going to come out right out and say it, but the fact that everyone keeps saying Doctor Doom is not in this movie, Doctor Doom is not in this movie, Doctor Doom is not in this movie makes me think that Doctor Doom is in this movie.
Yes,
because like it's
especially the thing that came out that said that he's not he's not rumored to be the Fantastic Four villain. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that. That
so
just makes me think he's gonna be somewhere else.
So it's rumored that he's not going to be the Fantastic Four villain. They're not going to wait until the end credits of Fantastic Four to release Doctor Doom.
Fucking so long.
Like, don't do that to
no
me,
way.
please.
Nah, there's no shot.
I don't even care if you show the actor that's playing him. You know what I mean? I don't even care if they just show like his back and it's just the Doctor Doom.
That's what I think.
You see his helmet, his cape, and all that. I don't even need to see who's playing him. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need a little something out of it.
That's something I think you might get, like an end credits kind of.
I think they said there's just one too. There's just one post credit scene in this movie.
That's great to know going in ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I don't sit around for an extra 15 minutes for no reason.
But I don't think it's gonna be like a comic relief. If you're gonna have one end credit scene, it's gonna be something that's leads to like phase 3 or
the comic relief ones are always annoying.
Yeah, and they're fine if you have two. Like if you even it out with
one.
Yeah,
so I wait for 15 minutes and then it's a comic relief thing. I'm like,
yeah. The only good one was the one in the first Spider-Man where Captain America's like. He's like patience, or at least talking about like I know you're looking forward to something and you're disappointed when it doesn't happen, but it's just like that's
like in the after school detention.
Yeah, doing like a training video or whatever. That's the only good one. But if you're gonna have one, it's got to be a meaningful one. So, like I said, I don't care if I don't even need to know who's playing him. Give me his cape or some kind of reference or something.
I think we're gonna get it. Like I said, to me, Marvel is so buttoned up and like kind of just like everything they do is with purpose. Like they don't. Yeah. They don't get nervous. They don't fucking start scammering around. Like they're not gonna be like, oh, he's not in this, not in this, not in this.
At least not with the movies. I feel like they kind of panicked with She-Hulk a little bit. You know when we were talking about when they're showing like scenes from the following episode and it's like Daredevil. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna panic with movies at all.
I don't think so. Like I said, I think that they keep saying it over and over again. It makes you think that he's gonna be in there. A little pop up, like you said, end credits kind of a thing.
Just a small one. I mean, you didn't see Thanos and the post-credit scenes for a while in, phase 1.
Guardians of the Galaxy, right? First one?
I think so, yeah. Even that was just like his like chair or something. Yeah, like you don't barely even see him. That's all I need with that. Show me some dude on a chair in outer space.
Dr. Doom's chair.
Right, I'm like, oh, all right, here we go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But very excited. Luke, how about you, baby? Black Panther 2, you going to check it out? How often do you go to the theater?
Not very often since COVID, honestly.
Since COVID, yeah.
And I went and saw James Bond and Dune. Like really close back to back in IMAX.
James Bond. What was the last James Bond movie? I can't remember the last.
I think it's No Time to Die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was just saying. It seems like that was one of the hits, right?
Yeah, Rami Malek was the villain.
The one before it, I was gonna watch it, and then I watched Spectre was the one before it. Man, I thought that movie was just bad.
Yeah,
it's kind of their MO, right? Hit miss, hit miss, hit miss,
yeah,
hit miss. Kind
pretty
of
much,
thing.
yeah.
That's what they've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, Casino Royale was sick.
Right.
Skyfall was
Quantum
sick.
of Solace was in between that. Sucked.
Yep.
Skyfall was very
probably
good.
The best one from all the Bonds.
The last one I saw, I remember it very vividly, for a few reasons. But it was very bad.
I think it was Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. It wasn't good. Good time at the movie.
Guy hoarding like water in the desert.
Yeah, it's like oil money and stuff.
That's the villain.
Yeah, right. You bastard.
Yeah. I don't think I watched 2 seconds of that. It was awful. Oh, man. Very, very bad. But Black Panther 2, coming Friday. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go check it out Friday because I have a wedding I'll be going to. I'm really not, unfortunately. I'm very excited to go to the wedding. You'll be at that too, right? Me and Luigi, baby. We'll have a good time. Cut it up. It's wedding season, baby. It's wedding season.
Looking fresh.
You just had a wedding yourself.
Yeah.
Too. Wedding season
Great
all
time.
around.
Great time.
But definitely go check it out this weekend. Luke, if you want, come check it out with us, baby. I think we're probably going to go on Saturday.
I'll be around. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So we're going to grab some tickets, probably do that one day. Actually, I might do it tomorrow because I'm off. But yeah, go check it out. It's going to be a fucking good time. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Shuri, I guess it's the only other thing we can really talk about. You guys think it's going to be anybody else but Shuri? Do you think there's any chance it's anybody else?
Nope.
Doesn't seem like it.
No.
No.
I also, you know what other thing I saw is that there was multiple people don the suit. I was like,
That I wouldn't be a fan of.
I wouldn't be either.
I don't like that.
I mean, she would still be the only one that can take that like ceremonial herb thing.
Yes. I can't think of that friggin' name of it all of a sudden. Oh, it's escaped my mind. But yes.
So I mean, that would be her slight difference. But why not have a Secret Service with all of those suits?
Vibranium suits, yeah.
I don't know.
The Dora Milaje are already
can't trust people
pretty
with
tricked
that.
out in vibranium. Like their shafts are all vibranium. I would have to imagine that their gear is all vibranium. I don't know that, but I would have to bet on it.
Yeah, I mean, you could trust a few of them at least with the sick nanotech suit.
I'd be shocked if it's not Shuri. She deserves it, man. She's a fucking
Yeah,
genius.
I think the payoff too would be awesome. Like during the movie, you know what I mean? Like that's like that in No Way Home, where like all 3 Spider-Men come in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole crowd's cheering.
Yeah.
Like I think you got to have that moment in this movie, and that should be that moment.
It's a long one too. I think you're right though. As far I think they're gonna make you wait too. I don't think you're gonna see anybody in a Black Panther suit for a while.
No, I think you get the morning at first. You know, and that's what that's the most intriguing thing to me is I'm interested to see how they pull this off in this movie.
Are they gonna have a funeral and stuff?
It seems
I think that's how it starts. Maybe,
Yeah.
Like, maybe it starts into the trailer, but I'm just interested to see how they write it as to like what happened.
I think it's going to be intense. I think it's going to be intense. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be sad. I don't know how else to say it, man. You know, Chadwick Boseman was awesome. I loved how much he came into What If.
Yeah.
Because at first they said it was like one episode.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, he was in another one. I was like, oh man, he came in again. I was like, who knows? He might come in again. And then he did. I was like, this is awesome. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, what can you do? It's terrible. But the guy was awesome, man. The absolute dominating force. I'm glad. There's a small population again online, but there's a few people that wanted the recast, and I'm glad that they're not going there.
No, that would be I'd rather have 10 people in Black Panther suits jumping around than seeing that.
I would not have liked the
No,
recasting
thank
at
you.
all. That would have upset me. That would have upset me. Anything else about anything else? You all think Shuri? Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be.
How'd you guys know about all those other potential villains for X-Men? Is that just from comics and stuff?
Like who?
I don't know. You were rattling off these guys who might actually be like the puppet master for
Atuma, I know.
Khan or whatever.
Atuma?
Yeah.
I'll say Atuma, I know. The first thing I knew about him was actually from the pop I got. It's always honestly, as you guys can see, I'm a pop hunter.
So it's a curiosity and researching thing. They
more,
haven't told us anything about these guys.
No, more researching for me.
Yeah.
Been a little bit more.
Saw the pop, got the pop. Then the trailer came out, and obviously I see this guy. I have a name to him. I'm like, all right, this guy looks fucking awesome. So a quick little Google search, you kind of find out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I just was lost. I was like, should I know these
Who?
guys? I've seen all the movies. Like,
like I said, those are some of the new characters coming in.
Okay.
Those ones at the end.
Another thing, like I said, that's the prime example. They've just kept him very under wraps. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna end up being the main villain.
Yeah, that scene that they keep showing in the trailer, that it's like underwater, like a submarine kind of a thing, submerged. That like looks at that.
Look at a whale. They went there riding a whale. If that's
I
the
did
one
see
I'm
that too,
thinking of, which is awesome.
Take that, Avatar.
Free Willy.
Yeah, exactly.
But it looks like kind of like government. It looks like U.S. government or some government's kind of like doing some submarine search and shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to just trample right onto that.
Yeah.
And things I have to imagine not gonna go good.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was also remember was it Endgame or Infinity War? One of them. Where I think it's Infinity War. No, I'm sorry, I lied. It's the beginning of Endgame. Remember when they're doing like a bunch of the heroes are like in the Star Wars thing? They come into the meeting. They're like the hologram.
Yeah. Yep.
Okoye is one of them.
Yep.
And she mentions that there was like an underwater
Earthquake. Yeah.
I wonder, but like that's post snap, so that would be like, is that like undone kind of? You know what I'm saying? Could this have some? Is the underwater earthquake that she mentioned going to happen in this movie kind of thing?
Right. Or is that just a result of the snap? Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Good call.
Well, I'm excited for this movie.
Yes.
I'm very, very excited. Like I said, I love Black Panther. I think it's fucking. I think it was 5 for me. I want to say if it's not 5, it's right around 5.
Yeah, and we need to bounce back from Thor, the last Thor movie. I thought it was a lot of people hate it more than I do, but I thought it was very average.
A lot of people don't.
It was missing a lot.
I liked Philip Love and Thunder.
Yeah, it was.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was like funny and enjoyable, but it's just just going back to like I thought we were keep going on the right track with Thor's like solo movies. Like Ragnarok's such a good fucking movie. Christian Bale's character was awesome. There was just not a lot of them, but I don't want to get sidetracked. Yeah, I think
he was.
Yeah, I just think overall we just need to have Marvel as a whole needs to have a good bounce back movie.
No, I hear you. I think people are upset because it's Thor, but I don't mind every once in a while we sprinkle in a movie that's a little bit more just like, let's just fucking have some fun. Like, at the end of the day, we are superheroes here. We don't have to fight for, like, the end of the world all of the time. Even though they do that in that movie. Yeah. Because it is still a superhero movie, so we still do have to fight for the fate of all the worlds and stuff. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. Sometimes I like just to fucking, like, just have... And that's why I love the Guardians movies.
I don't need every movie here on out to be, like, the characters, how they're bouncing back from the snap, too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was like, I didn't need the last Thor movie to just be, oh, how is Thor living post-Thanos snap? Yeah. So, it was fun, but, like I said, compared to, like, how Ragnarok was.
It's just a dumb good time.
Yeah.
Just a dumb good time. Russell Crowe as fucking Zeus was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was. That was actually
so funny. The screaming goats was so funny. Yeah. I loved a lot of it. I liked it. But Black Panther 2, Friday. Go check it out. Very excited. We'll be back next week. We'll recap the movie, talk about it, give it our ratings, talk about what we liked about it. I have high expectations, so
yes.
We'll see. I haven't gone into, what was the last? I guess Spider-Man was the last one I went in with. Actually, no, I went into Multiverse of Madness with some pretty high expectations, and I was slightly let down.
That was one that I actually enjoyed, like, more than... Dude, I was like the opposite. The majority of people kind of felt the same way, and I thought I liked it more than most people.
America Chavez angers me.
Yeah, she's not a good
Watching
character.
her angers me.
Yeah.
She's so bad. I don't understand how she got into this universe. I don't get it. There's very few times where I'm watching these movies where I'm just like, dude, she's awful, man. Awful, dude. Watching her is unbearable for me. I'm not looking forward to anything that she's doing in the future. She just makes me just want to cringe.
Stay in the multiverse, will you?
For real, please. But from there, I think we'll go over to Andor, yes?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Dive on in. We have a double dose of Andor. We got episodes 8 and 9.
Before we get into it, what are you guys' thoughts on like the longevity of him being in prison? I mean, like, I'm kind of surprised that he's been in prison for this long. I thought it was kind of going to be a quick, like, I would say one episode where he escapes and goes right back out. So you guys, like, surprised that I like the length of it? But like I said, I'm not criticizing it because I think it's been awesome. But I kind of thought the prison episode, like, he was going to be in prison for like one episode and that was it.
Well, I guess it's a good question. I would say, I guess my answer is because they've been doing so many 3-episode, not so many. It's only been fucking 8 episodes, 9 episodes. They've been doing a lot of those 3-story arcs. Mm-hmm. Like the first 3 were kind of one arc. 4, 5, and 6 were kind of one arc.
Yeah.
That episode 7 was the first one that really felt like a very individual, self-standing episode. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? I could see this being another one of those 3-episode arcs. So we had 8, we have 8, 9, and then maybe 10 we break out, which is we're gonna
should be. Yeah.
We're gonna lay off at 9. Right? It seems like we're ready for a breakout.
Yeah.
So.
I think you're right on that.
I could see, again, using that kind of same formula.
Yeah.
And then that leaves us with 11 and 12 to wrap things up for season 1 before season 2.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I was just curious. I don't know. I've enjoyed it, but it's not what I was expecting, but in a good way.
I guess it would have been a little bit weird if they he just got 6 years in this fucking new regime empire that's cracking down, and then he's just out.
I didn't expect the depths of this prison that he was going to be in, and you know what I mean, and having the literal depths of the prison.
The prison itself was very cool. As soon as they got to it, that scene, it's very early on, but he flies over it. It's just all ocean around.
Yeah.
Oh shit! This is kind of fucking.
Their attention to detail, it's so good.
To wear.
I love the attention to detail in it too. They're in different pods, with the sign language and all that stuff.
That was very cool.
I love it.
Yeah, I would say I liked episode 8 a lot, way more than I liked episode 9.
I feel vice versa.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Episode 9 almost put me to sleep. I just felt like I was watching the same thing.
See,
I was so sick of those guys. If I had to watch those guys just basically do their job one more time, I was going to lose my mind. I was like, I get it. You guys screw things in the machine, just spin them around. I get it.
Yeah.
Let's fucking move.
But by 9, I was like, the end of 9, I was like, let's go. I was ready for fucking episode 10 now. I'm ready to go to fucking war.
Luke, do you mind just grabbing that cord and plugging that in for me real quickly? Appreciate you. Should we dive into episode 8?
Yes. Before we do too, they changed the intro up a little bit. I don't know if you noticed that.
I watched the episode. They changed the
this one too is more like I was listening to. I caught it I caught it watching 9. They have it sounds like kind of like a hammer, like they're hammering something. Kind of same thing as when he's working.
I didn't skip it.
It sounds the exact same when they're working on whatever it is they're doing, but. I thought that was kind of interesting too. It sounds like just hammering metal, like what they do when they're.
Could it be a callback to the town? Remember in the first few episodes, they had the guy in the tower.
Could be that too. Yeah.
That whole town or city was based around labor, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? That's like how they marked the day.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting too. The first time I watched it.
That's cool. Good catch.
I didn't. Yeah, I definitely didn't notice that. That's a good catch. Sure. Episode 8, Narkina 5. Again, we're going to find out very, very quickly why the name of the episode is that. I feel like that's happened all this whole show almost. Every time I
It's
read
right
the
off the
episode,
rip.
what does that mean? And then like the first scene, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
cool.
They said it.
Lean on the camera. Hey. We open up. Cassian is heading towards his prison. Basically, he's being escorted. Basically, like kind of being escorted by some clone troopers to which ship he's going to be going on. There's a whole bunch of ships. They're all kind of taking off. They ask his name. He's still using his fake alias. And they're like, all right, you're heading off to Narkina 5. Andor's like, what the fuck is that? What the hell is Narkina 5? So right away, you get our name, like I said. Cassian's being shipped out. Still under the fake alias. Let's see. Ramsey at work. Literally just like the 9 to 5. He's playing. It looks like he's playing like Tetris, basically.
I was thinking going back to Marvel with Tony Stark. He's like, that guy's playing Galaga.
That's a great call. You thought no one would notice.
He's in the corner. Yeah, that guy's playing Galaga.
Called out.
That's a great call. But he just looks, like we've mentioned before, miserable. Just waiting to fucking get a new job, get out of this place any way he can. We see 2 Imperial guards. They're going to show up. Who they show up for but him. Oh, shit. He's being called in, summoned by Deidre. Deidre's here. She wants to talk to this guy. She was looking through the reports from Fennec and stuff like that. She's like, all right, you were questioned once before. I'm going to do it to you again, basically. Also, she mentions that he, even while he's at this stupid new desk job, he's still, filing appeals for information like crazy to, get more information on Andor. So A, he's obviously not letting up on his search at all, even though he's been literally fired and on a new job.
Yeah.
And he's just pushing the bounds of authority so much to the point that he's going to piss off the Empire.
Right.
But Deidre's like, yo, you need to fucking, you need to chill.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You need to chill. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Next time you're not going to be talking to someone like me, it's going to be someone a lot worse than me.
Yeah.
Ask him if he left anything out of the report. That the last time he talked to, question about the original, incident on Fennec with Blevin, that old officer that she replaced. He's like, yeah, I signed it. I was never able to actually read it, though. She's like, what the fuck? All right, these people are just incompetent. Get this guy the friggin' report. Let him read it. I'll be back in a little while. I got a meeting to go to. But we get Deidre and Ramsey for the first time. I was thinking Ramsey might be coming to the good side, but now I'm starting to have second thoughts again. I'm thinking Ramsey might be bad.
I'll save my thoughts on it because there's more going into episode 9. I still think it's going to end up being that. But I think we get into how I'm feeling based more on episode 9. Okay. So I'll little hangnail on that one there.
I really want to like Ramsey. I want good guy Ramsey really bad.
I think it's coming. I still do.
I haven't seen any hints, so I'm curious.
Yeah, well, I'll wait till 9 to give my thoughts, but
cool.
I still think it's coming.
If Ramsey Bolton dies for the rebellion, I'm gonna be a happy guy. I'm gonna be a happy guy. I need to turn around a little bit. You know what I mean? Even though his name's not Ramsey Bolton, and everyone that's not a Game of Thrones fans like, what the fuck are you talking about, you psychopath? It's the same guy to me, damn it.
Yeah.
We go to Cassian, and he is arriving. He's still on the ship, but they're arriving to the planet, basically, that he's going to be imprisoned on, the scene that we kind of just mentioned. And we see this prison for the first time, and man, this place looks gnarly. It's literally in the middle of an ocean. No escape possible.
Yeah.
Even if you're able to, get past the gods or whatever, get out of your cell, however, whatever it is, where the fuck are you going to go?
Yeah.
Dive into the water and swim for hours?
Yeah,
not Galadriel.
There's a whirlpool on each corner of the base, too.
That's right. Good call. I forgot about those.
That's some crazy tech and energy going into it.
Yeah. Almost day after tomorrow looking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get all those yeah, good call. I forgot about those.
Crazy.
But prison looked cool. Like you said, attention to detail.
Awesome.
Looked sick. Right away, I was like, oh, shit. This is going to be tough.
Yeah.
We need a ship.
Yeah.
We're going to need to do a lot. This is going to be a task.
Because I'm thinking about it, too. I'm like, because I still went into 8 thinking it was going to be, I felt like he was going to get out of prison pretty quickly. But like you said, I'm starts with the base. And I'm like, thinking to myself, I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's like, this looks pretty tricky to get out of here.
No kidding. Reminds me of, what's the planet there with the banking clinic people that I love so much?
Yeah, the Camino.
Yeah, there you go. Just bases set up in the middle of the ocean and shit.
Yeah.
Friggin' that was, The banking clinic will sign your treaty.
Which, going back to Tales of the Jedi, you find out why they have no access to it. Oh, I don't know if you got to that yet.
I haven't gotten.
All right, sorry.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I'll leave it as is.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you find out why they have no idea
Might be my
about
favorite.
the Camino system.
Might be my favorite part of the prequels. Going to the kids.
The Caminoans are awesome.
Those people were great, man. I love them. Cracked me up.
Is that the people who made the clones?
Yeah.
Luke's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, those people used to crack me up, man. I don't know what it was, but that line I used to say, me and Seth used to say it all the time. And just anytime he would say, like, instead of like saying, like, yo, you want to like hang out? Instead of saying yes, you'd be like, the banking clinic will sign your treaty. That's great. And today's episode is entitled?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Shit. We go to Deidre. And she is going to be addressing the Imperial, like, higher-ups. Qyburn's on this board, but he seems like he's kind of just one of a number.
Yeah.
Kind of like how he's been addressing one of the number.
Looks like how Deidre is addressing Qyburn.
Yeah, so now we're really getting high up there. She lays it right on the table, that stolen Starpath unit that Cass had in the first couple of episodes that they weren't able to get. And then she's going to start laying out all of the evidence, basically, that she's got. From Fennec to the stolen Imperial device, to Andor, to fucking the Fennec, all of it. She's going to try to tie it all together, show that there's a rebellion forming. Qyburn backs her up. The guy that's like running this whole meeting, just like looking at a list the whole time. Just like, yeah, I'm listening to you. I was just like, Jesus, no one shows this girl any respect on any level, man.
Yeah.
Finally, though, Qyburn's balling with this girl.
Yeah.
He fucking found a star, I think. He knows a good employee when he finds one. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like how the Empire is as a whole, where like they give themselves too much credit and they just leave out the how the Death Star, like they like intentionally made just like one small circle. Like it's just like they're like,
why
ignorance.
is that there?
Yeah, it's like their ignorance just as a whole. Like if they just weren't so fucking ignorant from the beginning, they probably would have ended up just filling the galaxy.
Do you remember what the Family Guy joke is about that from the Blue Hobbit? That it's so perfect, but it's just just like they're talking about that. Like there's this one hole. There's like I can't fucking remember. But
Yeah.
I know it's perfect. It's so fucking funny. Those movies
We
are great.
don't
You
need to
seen
cover
those?
that.
Yeah, Blue Harvest.
Blue Harvest, into what is it? Something Dark Side.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the last one, but those are all so
epic.
friggin' funny, man. I love those. Basically, like I said though, the guy that's running this whole meeting kind of
Doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's kind of paying her attention, but mostly he's looking at this basically a list of not demands, but asks. She's asking for guards, she's asking for tech, she's asking for a whole lot of things that the Empire can give her. Basically, trying to pull in all the favors. And this guy, it's exactly what he said. He's like, you're asking for a fucking lot here. You know what I mean? Like I said, Qyburn backs her up, and then she really doubles down. She like fucking, even though she, like I said, she's under Qyburn, so she's got a very way down here. She's grabs her balls on this one.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, listen, I want to double down on Fennec. If we find this guy, this is the closest thing we got to a lead. Let's grab this guy. They name him Axis, I think it is. They're trying to find Luthen.
Yep.
But they don't know his name yet, so they're referring to him as Axis. She's like, we can get Cassian. He'll lead us to this Axis guy, and then basically, there we go. We have the rebellion. Basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, it seems like you got enough evidence here. I think Qyburn vouching was that piece that
The
put
final
her over
thing
the
that she
edge.
needed. Yeah.
I think that was big. I think she needed that.
Right.
But
It's interesting too that they're not even their main, like you said, their main goal is not even getting Andor. It's just getting Andor to get Luthen.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
They just mentioned that like a couple of soldiers were able to like somewhat identify a guy in a cloak. I think they say they don't have much information on him, but they know he's out there. And if he was able to get Cassian off world, that's what I was thinking. Right. I was like, if they escaped, like, why you're gonna lock down on Fennec, assuming maybe he's gonna go back.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess people do usually tend to go home. It's
right.
kind of a thing.
Especially with his mom still being there.
Yeah. Otherwise, where do you even start?
Spying. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We're fucking galaxy,
right?
Fucking planets. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So it looks like Fennec is going to be, even though the Empire's already moved in, it seems like the Empire is going to fucking double move in. So like this whole task force is going to be heading there.
Yep. All systems go.
Yeah. Cassian arrives. He's now inside, and we find out that he's not like just out of prison. He's at a full blown fucking labor camp.
Yeah.
We see these gods walking up, which I could not stop laughing. Normally Star Wars things, I know sometimes they look goofy, but I'm like, all right, cool. It's Star Wars. These Empire gods walking in fucking Burton snowboard boots was like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, I got these boots downstairs. I love the snowboard. I can show up, but you guys hitting the slopes? The Empire hitting the slopes?
They just came back from Hoth, ripping the fucking, ripping the mountains.
You just got back from off. Nice. I love it. Well, right away I was cracking up. I was like, what the fuck is this? But hey, we're gonna see it actually, because this guy, he's like, hey, you'll notice that we're not really carrying any weapons here, no guns or anything like that. And then he pulls out basically like a remote control. Kind of looks like the thing from Men in Black that they used to. Blow your
right, the mind eraser thing.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Little remote control though. All these new prisoners, these new men, along with Andor, I think there's about 5 or 6 of them that have been basically selected, that they're in good enough shape.
As say, it's based on the shape that you're in.
Yeah.
Determines where you go. Yeah.
Don't want any old guys dying on you. We're gonna get there. About 5 or 6 of these guys, new prisoners showing up. They're all shoeless, no shoes. So I'm like, all right, what's going on here? This guy pulls the control. The next thing you know, these all the prisoners, Andor included, they start like shocking. It looks like they're being electrocuted, basically.
Yeah.
So they say that the ground is basically all controlled to, electrocute these guys on command.
Yeah,
That's why
I think
they're
they
wearing
show
these funky boots.
they show like the pit where everybody's shoes are too.
Yeah,
It's massive.
Yeah, just the interesting method. It's definitely, it works, I guess.
Yeah.
But to me, I just feel like, I don't know. Unless those boots are real, I guess those boots are special for a reason. I was gonna say, like, what if you just have, like, I don't know, what if you have like your normal boots on?
I was gonna say it ain't for style, that's for sure.
Yeah,
they're not special.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Yeah.
you just like, they take their shoes, but like, how strong is this thing? Like,
Right.
can you just, like, I don't know, take like your bed sheet and wrap it around your foot?
It seems like they must need whatever thickness, of the boots.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I like it.
Is it definitely electricity, or is it some other?
That I'm not sure of. It seemed like to me, like, because they were kind
seemed
of
more like torturous. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it could be. I don't even
I
know.
think it's again. It goes into episode 9, but I wonder if it's the same thing as something that happens in episode 9, like the same
The,
kind of motive of
that
Yeah,
device thing?
yeah. I wonder. I kind of thought it was the same motive of
Technology
of
somehow,
torture.
just like reused, kind of
Yeah.
repurposed.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Maybe.
That was pretty creepy.
Like I said electric. I said electric just because of like kind of the way they were like, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
like,
It's like
definitely the-
nerve.
Yeah.
the nerve.
Yeah, it's the
control.
closest thing we
Clock
have to it for sure, and it could be electricity, but I got the feeling that it was some other tech. I don't know.
yeah, easily could be. Yeah, it's fucking Star Wars. Just seen like I said, just the first thing that came to my mind. So I wrote
Right,
it.
and they said some like one guy who died he was fried or whatever.
I was just
Or
gonna
he
say,
went on the
kept saying
rail.
fried, yeah.
Like,
Which again,
walk on the
if you like
rail.
electrocute yourself, like that person got fried. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That points to you being right. But
I got you. Just curious.
my guy.
I'm gonna step behind them. My guy.
I'm not always clear. Might be.
No, that's my bad. I got you. But yeah, whatever it was, but either way, it's very unpleasant, clearly, and I said it's all generated from the floor, which is gonna be tough. You know what I mean? What the fuck? I swear, at first that's what I was thinking. My first thought when I saw these shoes, I was like, these guys are gonna start like, I don't know, walking on the walls or upside
Yeah.
down or something like that,
Right.
Magnetic or some shit. But no, just protection. But fucking Andor, like you said, Andor's good as he's good as hands full, man.
Yeah.
Electric,
an easy escape
electric
out of it,
floors,
yeah.
fucking water-bound prisons. This is gonna be tough.
Seems like he's like on the whole way in too, almost planning his escape. He's just kind of head on a
Yes.
swivel, like
Yep.
counting the boots in the rack,
Just
like,
gathering
it's like-
information.
yeah,
The whole
it's
time,
kind
yeah.
of cool.
Eyes wide open, constantly, just like always observing.
Yep.
Even as soon as he gets, we're gonna get there, but as soon as he even gets to like his job and stuff, like right away. he's
Attention
just
to
like,
details right there.
Yeah. From there we go back to Ramsey and Deidre. And Ramsey basically is going to be like, yo, there's a lot missing from this. Basically, all of like the negligence.
Like,
has
who
been
wrote
swept under
this?
the rug.
Yeah.
All the negligence.
It's
from
like
any of the other
CIA
employees.
papers where just a bunch of shit is blacked out.
That's
Who
exactly
the fuck
right.
wrote this?
That's exactly right. She asked him more about Luthen, which he doesn't really have much to offer her, Bailey. Like, yeah, I think he says like something about his cloak again, boots, something like that. And then he does mention one thing. He says, I heard his voice. I can recognize his voice. So
It seems like his thing too is Andor, not necessarily Luthen.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Like
he's-
I don't think
he's
his
very set.
his payoff is Luthen.
Yeah, very, very set on Andor.
It's personal.
Yeah, for real. Deidre's basically going to be like, all right, like, cool, like, thanks for your help kind of a thing. Like, I'm good with you. Go back to your shitty desk job.
He's like, oh,
And then, yeah, he's going to kind of make his bid. He's going to plead his case to her to kind of, like, take him on kind of a thing. And she's just going to be like, dude, like, you're lucky that, like, everything's okay right now because you, like I said, she's like, stop. I think she said, stop sending in reports for fucking more information stuff. Just, like, do your job.
Yeah.
And, like, just chill, like, relax kind of a thing. Yeah. But he just looks like absolutely devastated. Just like, no, I'm going to be stuck here forever.
get me out of here.
She's like, you sent in 6 reports. She's like, it was 7.
Yeah, that's right.
No shame in his game.
We go back to the prison and we see Cassian. He's basically going to get brought through kind of like a security checkpoint kind of a thing. and he gets brought down into his new work quarters. And we get introduced to Andy Serkis. Welcome to the Star Wars universe. Kino Lord.
Been there before.
Has he been there before?
Yeah, he played Snoke in the last trilogy.
Gotcha.
So has been in there before.
Gotcha. I didn't even know that.
Another motion capture. To his credit there.
Yeah.
I missed that
good
one.
call.
Yeah, but like I said, he's doing this new thing where he's actually playing himself and things, and not just like being CGI'd around.
Yeah. Very talented guy. Gollum from Lord of the Rings, Planet of the Apes, Caesar, like you mentioned. That was a good one. I'd forgotten about that one. Directed the Venom and Venom 2 movies. He's been in a ton.
Yeah, I didn't know that until recently too.
Yeah, he's not on the. Someone new's doing the third one. But he's done a ton, a few other things too.
He's in Black Panther.
That's right. He's in Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's right. Doesn't he have like a mechanical arm or something in Black Panther?
Yeah, I think so.
Mechanical arm. That's right. He's like the kind of the bad guy in the beginning. Yeah. But talented guy. Nice to have him in the MCU. Obviously, love Gollum. Like actually, I mentioned it to you guys, but if you guys Lord of the Rings fans and you haven't seen it, watch anything. Just Google, like YouTube it. Behind the scenes, like Andy Serkis, Gollum, Lord of the Rings shit. It's fucking incredible, man. Watching that guy just perform, like he's in like that one of those like slick suits, like hobbling around with Elijah Wood and Sam Austin, just like doing the voices and stuff. It's just like this guy's awesome, man, dude.
Same thing.
He's like that must suck.
He's like hobbling around with like James Franco in Planet of the Apes too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
he's
he's doing the same exact stuff.
In a green onesie with ping pong balls on him.
But yeah, so we get introduced, like I said, Kino Loy, and he is basically the manager. He runs this whole workshop, this whole level of men. We find out basically
it's like a game to him, kind of. I think even the way he explains it too.
Yeah.
It's like it's his like game.
Yeah, you play against each other. I play against the other room.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It insinuates just how many people are in this prison too. You know what I mean? By the way he talks about it, it's like we can tell there's a lot of floors, a lot of levels, a lot of guys that are locked up here. Yeah. And like you guys kind of said, they all kind of compete against each other, trying to do the best work every single day. Probably getting some little bonus rewards and shit like that. But
yeah, I think
not the best rewards.
Yeah, I think it's it's just a flavor. They get like flavor in their paste. Yeah, like their paste food.
Ridiculous.
Like, oh, nice chicken flavor tonight. No,
you get just anything, just any flavor. Just like
a tube in the wall.
Yeah,
a tube in the wall.
Gross.
Like it's a freaking froyo machine or some shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like no, it's really good for you. They want us strong. But yeah, that's wild. Cool prison concept. I like it.
Yeah,
very good.
No, for sure. He gets introduced to his work crew basically, and they're worried because now they got a new guy here, so they can't be considered down a guy for the day, even though he's the new guy, which kind of sucks. I feel like that's fucked up. And he, like we kind of mentioned, just right away, just kind of starts observing, very observant of what these guys are doing, the job that he's going to be, doing, all of it.
Patterns for the guards and things like that too.
Just like I said, eyes wide open the whole time. Yeah. But you just see like theyese guys too, man. They're all just everybody in this prison. They're all just working like dogs, man. Like dogs, like so hard, just pushing themselves faster. Like, wow.
Are we thinking there's any? Is it like Death Star parts that they're making? Do we have any idea as to what they're actually making? Or
I was gonna ask that too.
All right, that's a great.
Is it for say like ATSTs or things like that?
I like the Death Star one way better.
I don't know what it is we're making.
I love the Death Star.
They are hexagon, right? Six-sided things. Which would be like how you make a globe, probably.
Right.
Six-sided pieces or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a bigger picture thing or what.
I love it because they spend so much time in these two episodes you spend so
much time. And they do the same fucking thing for 12 hours a fucking day. It's got to be something like that.
Yeah. There's like sometimes there's not even a lot of conversation going on while they're doing it. It's like we're just watching these guys literally do this job. So it's like there's got to be a reason.
They're just like motivating each other to win the day. That's the only conversation you have sometimes.
They did say that this show is going to be about the little guys in the universe. You know what I mean? The day guys, the day laborers.
Like the little guys got to be the ones making the parts for the Death Star. At least I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's
that's a great call.
Maybe it's nothing.
That idea.
I don't know.
I think that's great.
You think at the very least it's parts for TIE fighters or something?
Like I said,
it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool if it was Death Star, which is why it's like fucking. We have a deadline.
12 hours a day, every single day.
Also, the fact that Andor's going to help blow it up. He literally helped build it, and he's going to help blow it up.
Yeah.
That's fucking genius. I love it.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I love it.
Guaranteed.
That's a good
kind of like the guy from Rogue One. I can't think of his name.
That's a good. That's a good. I like that. I like it a lot.
good connection there.
I think we just pieced that together right there. Yeah, that'd be great. You know what I mean? The same guy that helped put it together.
Full circle.
Fucking helped build
Can't think of the guy's name.
The Lord
from Rogue One.
giveth, the Lord taketh away.
That's right. That's right. Who's the guy? Jimmy Smits. Shout out Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that designed the Death Star.
Yep.
Love him. He's awesome. He's a badass in Sons of Anarchy when he comes in the later seasons. All right. From there, we go. And we see that Mommy Martha. Mommy Martha, her husband, they're at a little cocktail hour. And we find out that she's trying to win over some votes. Seems like the Emperor and the Empire are putting in some new rules into effect that she's trying to basically slow down a little bit. Giving a little bit more information, though, it seems. Not a little bit, being a little bit more sharing with the husband. It seems like to this point, I felt like she was always trying to basically, whenever she wanted to talk any business, she was trying to get away from him. Not like she's getting too into detail here, but she's hinting that she doesn't love the Empire, basically. You know what I mean? And he's obviously, one of those big pro-Empire guys waving his picket sign.
Yeah.
But I was kind of, all right, maybe trying to test the waters
Loosen it up a little bit. I mean, you got it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Figure. She needs to find support and funding.
Yeah.
So those are the two biggest ones.
Yep. Tay Colma is going to arrive, who we met last week. Her friend from back in the day. He's going to show on up. And we find out that the husband hasn't always been so pro-Empire, but it was since he was a kid. And she says when he was 15, apparently he was a little bit more of a rebel. So maybe again testing the waters, trying to maybe get him a little chip away at that pro-Empire.
Come back.
Yeah. But Tay Colma, after a little bit, gets the husband out of there. They're able to talk a little business, and basically just kind of mentions that it's getting really hard to take money out, hide money from the Empire. They're starting to crack down on everything. That's why she basically invited him to that party last week, was so that she could hopefully get the
funding.
Yeah, she wants to help fund the rebellion, which turns out basically that she took this 400,000 credits that she removed. That she's just when the Empire sees that there's 400,000 credits gone,
they're going to be tracking every single big monetary transaction.
What did you do with that money?
Yeah.
And she's going to be fuck.
Yeah.
So we need to kind of find a way to hide it, but it seems like they're having a tough time.
Yeah.
The Empire's cracking down all over the place, so we're going to have to try to figure out something. We go back to Cassian, and basically we're waiting in this fucking prisoner line, which we kind of saw. We mentioned a little bit earlier. He's seeing one of his fellow prisoners in front of him doing basically sign language, hand gestures, sign language, through a glass window to another tunnel, I guess if you want to call it, of also prisoners that are in the same line that they're in. Good part away though.
Yeah,
pretty far off.
Yeah.
And you see just how massive in scale this prison is.
Yeah, it's like
you see,
12 floors deep.
12 floors deep, exactly. Yeah. So there's a shit ton of
people. I think that's when I was like, oh no, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. We're not. No, this is some multi-episode breakout kind of deal. There's no way we're just getting out in one episode.
Yeah, but you see just how many people the Empire's already been able to fucking round
that too.
up real quick. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially. I think it comes later on, but they ask him the typical anytime you see a prison in any movie or show ever, they always go, "What are you in here for?" He says nothing, but usually they're like, "Yeah, me too," kind of laugh at him.
Right.
This one's like, "Yeah, a lot of that going around lately," but it's genuine. It's because the Empire is just basically rounding up
just falsely accusing people. It's the same thing as Andor. Yeah, so Andor got in, just falsely accused for nothing.
Yep. He gets into his sleeping quarters, which is basically two men to these very small. Basically, it is basically a jail cell.
Yeah,
like a little bit more of a luxury jail cell, I guess. Looks a little like Star Wars.
Yeah.
But that's when we're gonna find out that basically everything that you need to live is in this little fucking cell. They got razor blades to shave. You got a little fucking sink. He's like, all right, cool. What do we eat? And so we said, that tube in that room right there. You pull it, and that's your food. Eat as much as you want. Actually, yeah, you said they want it's nice and strong.
Yeah.
And that's when we find out, like you said, if you win the day, if you guys are the best shift on your level, you get flavored food. What a reward.
Woo!
I mean, my God. What does it taste like? What does flavored mean? My first thought was just like when you have chicken broth, basically kind of thing.
It's like ramen, like beef flavored ramen or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nice.
It's just like hot water. Oh, fucking you get a little beef flavor in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a flavor packet.
Yeah. The other thing in the cell that I don't know that I would love if I was ever unlucky enough to be incarcerated, I don't necessarily think that I would want a little ticker counting down to the days until I'm out right there all the time.
Yeah, that's
especially when it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need I don't know what the cutoff is. Like say 100 days.
100 days.
Once you start getting to 100 days, give me the ticker. If I'm looking at 3,656 days left, I'm out.
For real, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Totally agree.
I'm trying to adjust my brain to this new life that I'm living.
I don't
need that every day as I go to bed, wake up, brush my teeth. Nope. I'm all set.
I'm carving 350,000 fucking days. Nah, no thank you.
No.
Like 100.
No.
Give me a countdown.
And then we kind of get some whispers from the other gods. They're kind of doing they're all courted together, doing some gossiping. But it seems like the Empire might have made up some events, kind of almost, to keep prisoners longer. We find out that all these prisoners, their days recently doubled right before Andor got here.
Surprise.
And there was a name of it. I didn't write it down, but there was some kind of an act that happened. They were asking Andor about it. And Andor was looking at him like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And they're like, he has no idea. Like, what's going on? And they said that they doubled all of our days because of this event that happened.
Yeah.
As like a result of it.
Right.
And Andor was just like,
or even how Andor gets in, like
that's not real.
they doubled. I feel like they doubled it even before they doubled it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Andor gets 6 years for something that was like so minor.
Right. The Empire said
it's for what he did. He's the one who caused it. It's for the heist that Andor just did.
Yeah, right.
It's all those things that Qyburn was like instituting.
Is that it?
Yeah, he's the reason. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is like, that's why it's even more awkward. It's like, I don't.
That makes sense too.
But he also didn't know about it. But he did. The lady just told him like, this used to be 6 months now. 6 years.
6 years now. Have a good one.
But
that right. I remember that part.
Yeah,
all right, I got you. In my head, because like I said, I took it that he like genuinely didn't know, but that makes sense too. That he was just playing like,
shit.
I wasn't, yeah, exactly. All right.
I wish they didn't do that.
I got you.
What was the reason for this? Is an asshole.
Yeah. Because like I said, I took it as I took it as it was like an actual made up event, and they just made it up basically to double their time and keep them there longer.
It does seem like it's being swept under the rug, like it's some new thing they passed that they aren't telling the public about. But the reason is because of Andor, for sure.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes
squad.
more like just logical sense. Good call.
All
right, I didn't take it like that, but I like that. Good call. I like this episode.
Talk it out.
My brain's moving here. I'm buzzing. See, that week off, we needed that, and you needed to get the neurons
fired on all cylinders.
We go to Mommy Mantha again. She's chatting with some dinner guests, like she said. We're trying to work over some votes. But we also find out a couple little interesting details about her background that I don't think many people noticed or knew. First off, she's married at 15.
Yeah.
Which explains why her and her husband aren't exactly a perfect match.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They were match made.
Right.
Say, if you're married at 15, it's like Game of Thrones-y, and you know what I mean? Like you're just like paired together kind of deal.
Betrothed.
Yeah.
And then right after getting married, made senator at 16 years old.
Moving on up quick.
No shit.
Retired by 20.
How old's Senator Amidala supposed to be? She's supposed to be pretty young though too, right?
Yeah, gotta be.
She's probably supposed to be like teens, right?
And that's not a like hereditary title. That's all just earned.
I think it might be hereditary. I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to look into
it would make sense if it's like
I think it is hereditary.
Okay. I mean that makes it more possible to be 16 and have a title, but if you were just like
that good of a
upstart
speaker?
high schooler who
no shit.
kills it.
Outstanding, born to be politician. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Reminds me of Emile Hirsch and The Girl Next Door.
There you go.
That's a good question, though. I don't know. Intriguing. Like I said, I know Senator Amidala from the prequels is also supposed to be very, very young.
Right.
Because even
she was the Queen of Naboo at 14 years old.
Queen of.
Yeah.
Well, Queen implies
that's the definite pass down.
Yeah. True. Yeah. That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Which it does because she gets.
But you'd think to be a senator at 16 and a half, you'd be elected. Senator implies being elected for sure.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
So that's damn impressive.
I think you're right. So Mommy Martha getting elected by the people at 16, more than likely. But I just kind of liked the scene a little bit because obviously she's a character that we saw in the original trilogy. We see her in the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Yes, and then actually, is she in all three trilogies?
I don't think
she's not in the new ones.
No, she's not in 7 through 9.
All right, but obviously made a ton of Rogue One
because they have like their version of her, and oh my god, she's awful. Sorry, I don't want to get to that. It's like it's not even close to Mommy Martha.
she ain't mom.
Oh God, it's such an awful character. So yeah, no, she's definitely not in those. I wish she was though.
So yeah, original trilogy, prequels, Rogue One. She made a lot of appearances, but just a little bit more backstory about her because usually she's just kind of given command, sort of a thing. We're learning a lot more about her this show, a little bit more inside scoop. I'm into it. I like it. I like her character. She's a bit of a badass, and she's I like that we're seeing because obviously. And those other things, we see her very firm. She's more badass now. Right now, she's younger still.
It's more
rebellion just forming.
Politicalness, yeah.
She's kind of she's easing her way into it. She's not all the way there yet.
Because she knows you can't just run into it. Like I said, you got to get biggest two things are probably support and finance. So that's why you kind of gotta. She knows that you gotta kind of keep it low key for now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm enjoying her scenes. I guess. They're not always the most exciting scenes. But
no, they're just much more political.
Yeah. I love that shit. So I love Game of Thrones. It's one of the biggest reasons why I love Game of Thrones. Sometimes I don't need all the bloodshed. You know what I mean?
Except for 1 and 9, the next episode that I got some really interesting vibes on, but we'll get to that one.
Okay.
Killing me.
All right.
There was a couple. I was like,
stick around.
Hey, yo.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, from there we're going to go to a 30-day skip forward. We're going to do a little time lapse here. We're going to see Cassian. He's 30 days into his sentence now, and he seems to be adjusting pretty well. It seems like he's
grinding.
Yeah. I know me 30 days in, I would be like I was mentioning earlier, under my blanket in my bed crying. I don't want to go to work. No! I'm in jail. Let me stay here. You know what I mean? Send me to a new prison.
You just fried on the floor by day 8.
But he's certainly fucking like I said, acclimating pretty damn well. We see that they're heading down into their work shift for the day, and their shower technique I thought was wildly interesting. All these guys stand. It looks like they're on an elevator, but while they're on the elevator, all this mist, almost like they're in a sauna. It was kind of
I thought it was
over them. But they're all ass naked.
Yeah, it was I don't know, something weird, but gas chamber esque.
Yeah,
I thought it was
send them to death.
Yeah,
and the Empire's very Nazi-esque. So.
Right.
Huge Nazi vibes. All the way down to the suits.
Yeah, there's so many things.
Big time.
So yeah, I don't know if that was their intent, but that's what I got.
But right away I was just very intrigued. I was like, how clean can you get from that? That's just got to be nice smells probably to make it sure they don't smell bad.
Yeah.
They're still dirty as shit.
Yeah.
They're just smelling nice little aromas on them. But he seems to be getting the hang of his job too. He's just acclimating pretty well. We see him at work now. 30 days into his shift, he's sitting there buzzing around making these machine parts like it's nothing. Still just constantly got his head on a swivel though. Just always observing. We don't hear any of it though. There's to this point, no conversing at all of any planning, no questions, nothing.
I think it just goes to show how in depth he is. Like I said, we gotta pick up on, in order to escape a prison like this, I feel like you gotta pick up on the small little patterns of guards and things. So it's not just gonna take a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta have 30 days.
Diligence.
You gotta do a lot of investigating to pick up on the small things that you need to escape.
Whereas by the end of 9, he's cocky with how he talks.
Yeah, he's always got it figured out by then. Yeah,
he knows what lines he can cross, and he's not afraid of. His, he's like.
This is kind of like how it was. Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it. 8, he's gathering information. I think 9 is when he kind of starts spreading it around.
Yeah, he knows
he's got a skill with people, man. He knows how to feel them out, read them. You know what I mean? Adjust, say the. He's a good people person. I don't know what kind of skill that is, but it's a good one to have.
That's how he managed to owe everybody money in that first planet that we were on, and everybody still loved him. They're all like,
just Cassian.
Cassian, you owe me money.
Typical Cass.
You're going to pay me back sometime? You're going to screw me again. But they still love him.
Speaking of his home, actually, you know what? It's funny you say that. Speaking of all them, that's where we're going to go. We're going to go to Phoenix, and we're going to see some people we haven't seen in a little while. We see Bubba Bix. We see Mava, and we see, I'm not sure of his name, but his construction buddy, the one that helped him out earlier on in the show.
Pilot friend kind of deal. Yep.
We see that Marva is not doing too well. She looks like she's kind of banged up, kind of sick. We find out that she took a fall. And how did she take that fall? She was basically out about by herself, looking for an old access tunnel that they used to use. And when Bix is the one that's telling the story to the Cassian's friend there, he's asking what do you want to do with this tunnel? And she's like, we're gonna smuggle in the rebels. She's a rebel. We're gonna sneak in. We're gonna sneak in the rebels. We're gonna come behind the Empire. We're gonna fucking kill them all.
But I think it goes to show her self-awareness that the reason why she didn't go with Andor was because maybe she realized she wasn't physically able.
Yeah,
and that's what it leads to something like that. You know what I mean? That's just a small thing that she's doing on her own planet, let alone bigger scheme things. Definitely. So I think it kind of goes back to the reason why she didn't take off with him in the last episode.
I think
but she knew she was going to bring him down a little bit in terms of like, physicality, being able to like withstand all these things.
True, yeah. Like you figure almost like wherever they're gonna go, it's like when we get there, it's just like you're gonna be almost like just taking care of me because I'm.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is going through, smuggling through tunnels, like let alone bigger picture things. So I don't want to drag you down this whole time. So that's why I'm staying on my home planet.
True. Oh, so you hear that all the time too in real life with old, old people. They're older, they're sick. I want to go home and die in my own home.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's where I live. It's my house. You know what I mean, kind of a thing.
Definitely the vibes I get from her.
Foreign territory which she's never been before.
Yep.
Very, very normal, but very sad. No real. I think we see B2E move for like a split second, but I was like, where the fuck?
Yeah, not a big thing in this one. Yeah.
I don't believe that B2 would be right there with Marva though. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd be right there, like cuddled up next to her, like watching out for her, kind of a thing. I don't believe that he wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
I think that was a misfire right there.
Maybe he's got some important business that we don't know about.
Yeah. So we find out
droid business.
Important droid business. They're at a droid meeting.
He's on a conference call with R2, like BB-8. Nobody can understand this since everybody's beeping and stuff.
Everyone's beeping and stuff. Oh man, we find out that that they're not obviously they're on Fennec, but there are some other people on Fennec. The Empire's there, obviously, but we also find out that Vel and Cynthia are there. Vel is tasked with finding Cassian and killing him. So, just like the Empire, actually, what better place to start than his home planet? She's there at Fennec. She's watching over Bix. She's kind of keeping an eye on this whole thing. But I was like, shit, Vel's taking this mission pretty seriously. I didn't know if she was going to actually come and do it, but fuck.
So far, she is, yeah, for sure.
Good place to start.
Yep.
And then we see Bix is going to go back to her friend Pac that we see earlier in the show, I believe episode 2 or 3.
One Pac.
Yeah. When she's going to go to call Luthen. He's the guy, owns his own little business, has the private cell phone out back, you know what I mean? Go make your fucking calls kind of a thing. So she goes over and we see she's going to be sending out another signal right away. I'm like, gotta be to Luthen, right? Sure enough it is. That's who they show right away. We go to Luthen. He's the one that's receiving this call. He's with his assistant. And his assistant, man, she hasn't done too much to this point in the show, but boy, she put her foot down right
Yeah, as I say, she's like, like slapping him, like not asking to slap the boat, like, yo, like, clean it up.
What the fuck?
Yeah, clean it up.
Clean it up is right. Yeah, for real.
This is pretty big. Like, you're kind of faltering a little bit.
Yeah.
Clean it up.
The Empire's cracking down. So having this phone communication line open, basically, we're just asking to get tracked.
Yeah.
If they track us here, we're fucked.
Right.
You're fucked.
Like you had this heist, but like, job's not done, dude.
Yeah.
Like, don't take your foot off the gas.
Yep. If anything, they've obviously been doing a good job of hiding. Like, obviously, he's got his, his little, his shop, his whole little extra persona that he's got going on. But now, the Empire's cracking down on all these regulations and shit. Like, we can't be just sending out calls and shit like that.
Right.
But we find out, Bix is calling. She wants to find out where Andor is because she wants to basically tell him that Marva's not doing good, you know what I mean? And the assistant's kind of pushing to shut down the communications, which they're actually going to end up doing. But we find out that Luthen really wants to find Andor. It doesn't seem like it's for good purposes. It seems like he's worried too that he didn't cover his tracks so well in the previous episodes. He kind of brought him in out of nowhere, and he doesn't necessarily know who he is and trust him so much.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh fuck, like is Luthen out to get fucking Andor now too in a bad way? Like I don't like this. I think we were fucking boys.
Should have done his homework a little bit more. You know what I mean? Should have known he wasn't going to turn him over.
Yeah, man, shit. Andor's
like you didn't know, like you
right
shouldn't have been this paranoid going into this. Like you didn't think there were going to be these repercussions like this.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect?
Man was focused on committing a heist. He got it done. He did.
But now it's like you didn't think of like the after effects.
Yeah.
Or like how he was going to have to, like I said, job's not done kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah. We go to the prison again for a quick little scene, which was a scene that not too much to take away, except for the fact that, again, not your mom and dad's fucking Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had our first suicide in Star Wars. I mean, a pretty dark thing.
Right.
We go to Cassian. He's in prison. We learned earlier that basically, like at nighttime, the floors, they turn like they say it turns red, basically. And when it's red, basically free range for execution or whatever torture it is, it'll kill you. So once that happens, stay in your cell, don't come out. There's no even. It's very weird. No cell doors or anything, just free range. But it's that floor, man. It's all the warning you need.
Yep.
Well, basically, this one prisoner wakes up middle of the night, kind of thing. All the other guys are sleeping, and just jumps out onto the floor, fucking fried.
I think
up.
that reference earlier too. Like somebody asked him. I think it might be Andy Serkis' character. He's like, "You're not a sleepwalker, are you?"
Oh yeah, that's
He's
right.
like, "Oh no, why?"
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Because of this.
Did you notice though? Obviously, from all the just like the chatter in the room right after it happened, it's just like, oh wow, this happens regularly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not the first time they've seen that for sure.
A couple of guys were like harsh.
Yeah,
kind of like almost. One guy was almost talking shit.
Like,
too.
oh, we're gonna be smelling them all night, or like something like you know what I mean, like something like that.
One guy mentioned kind of like basically almost talking shit, like your table's gonna struggle tomorrow, kind of thing. Like, oh
right.
shit, dude, what the fuck? This guy just killed himself. You like talking shit about flavored food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah. But,
While he's just there rotting on the ground.
yeah, we said the show darker vibes for sure, man. But this was, suicide, heavy topics.
And too, they were gonna just throw his body out, replace him with another one, real quick.
Yeah, we mentioned the ties to friggin' Hitler earlier. This is a very death campy vibe.
Yeah,
the whole
for
vibe
sure.
of it's fucking fucked up. We go to Phoenix and we see that Pac, Bix's friend. He has been taken by the Empire, and they as they're taking him and escorting him out, a couple of the guards, they see Bix, and they're like, hey, basically you're Bix. So clearly the word's already been spreading around about this girl too.
Yeah,
not only did they know where the call from, they might know exactly who made the call somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if she put her name in the goddamn message. What an idiot. There's no way she could have been that dumb, right?
I hope not.
Hey, it's Bix.
Right, yeah. call me when you get a minute.
Just a typical voicemail.
Yeah, no, don't do
hey!
that. Yeah.
But right away they kind of identify her, which I was like, oh shit, they know who she is. She takes off running. The funny little, I thought it was pretty funny. The construction worker friend there just kind of sets a moving pig.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the way. My bad. I'm so sorry. But Bix kind of runs off. Don't know. At first I thought she was going to get away, but we're going to find out. Maybe not. But from there, before we find that out, we're going to go to a big moment in the show as a whole. Big moment. We're going to get not only Andy Serkis this episode, but we're going to get Forrest Whitaker returning, fresh off his role from Rogue One, recurring character, Segra. Jesus Christ, we're on Segra.
Saw
Gerrera. Saw Gerrera. Luthen is going to go and pay a little visit to, it seems like, I don't know if I'd call them friends.
No.
They've dealt with each other in the fall, but definitely. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, had some past deals made. It seems like they're on good terms, though. I wouldn't say they're not enemies, that's for sure.
Right.
Seems like, a little banter back and forth.
Yeah.
I love
the line of, I think, I forgot what one of them says, aren't you tired of fighting? And then he's like, aren't you tired of fighting your own people?
Yes,
there was some,
yeah.
interesting, I should have got the quote for
Yeah.
it, but... Yeah, they do have some witty lines back and forth.
I like the very first thing I think out of Luthen's mouth was just did you pull that Aldani heist? It's just nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that you?
They have a good back and forth, too.
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Yeah. The last one's great. Forrest Whitaker goes, well, whoever did it, it was Mastercraft. And then Luthen goes, but now I know it was you. I was like, this is great. Yeah. This is good. Forrest Whitaker, man, I don't know how I'm sure that they definitely aged him up for Rogue One. You know what I mean? Because he's doesn't look like he does in Rogue One.
Yeah.
A lot of gray and shit. They did a good job with the makeup stuff because he looks significantly
Much younger.
than he is in
Definitely.
Rogue One. You know what I mean? Another character, Mommy Moth, is going to be another one, but people are going to age because of this rebellion real quick. You know what I mean? These 5 years. But I was excited to see him on screen. I like this character in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a little bit more actually of him because he didn't have a ton of screen time, and I don't know. We didn't get much.
It was
of
that scene and it
him
was
and
it.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a little bit more backstory and shit.
It was interesting how much they butted heads, though. They weren't really.
Yeah.
You'd think they would be getting along great. They're both,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
top rebel leaders, but
It
they
seems
were
like
on the same page.
It's funny you say that because Luthen's basically gonna offer him some equipment, right? So he's gonna offer some Imperial equipment that he either stole or was able to get, whatever it is, basically for help. Saw's like, all right, awesome. What do you want for the price? And Luthen's gonna say, hey, I want you to meet with this fucking guy, basically just so that we can try to further this rebellion, kind of a thing. And Saw's not about it. Seems like he doesn't really want to work with anybody else. It seems like he's saying he's the only one that's got clarity.
Yeah.
And he's calling out what you were just kind of saying. He was calling out Luthen the way that Luthen was calling out, say, Mommy Martha, an episode or maybe 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
It's weird. It seems like to Saul, Luthen's not all the way in
Yeah.
on the rebellion. You were just saying, these are the 2 biggest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It seems like to Saul, he's top echelon king rebel, and Luthen's kind of farther down the pyramid. But I kind of agree with you, at least to this point, because obviously Luthen was the one that was kind of in charge of that whole heist team, it seemed like.
Yeah, so it's just a level of commitment thing that they're different on. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I wish I'm trying to find what the quote was, but
it seemed like to me Saul was kind of just almost giving him a little bit of shit, you're not all the way in kind of a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't
definitely needs some convincing for sure.
Yeah. He was, like I said, Luthen was trying to convince him basically, like, hey, meet up with this guy. He can help. Actually, no, he said he had a job. He's got like another heist basically planned, it seemed like. And this guy needed, so I think he sent some, what do you call it, air help. Some ships, basically. Some air assistance. Well, he wasn't having it. He was straight up out. He was like, he didn't even take the, any of the
take
equipment or
your fucking parts with you.
Take your parts, get out of here, no deal.
Nasty.
Yeah, I definitely gonna see more of them for sure. I hope, right?
Yeah, I think probably more like season 2.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good like season 2 involvement.
Do you remember in Rogue One if that's when Cassian meets Saw Gerrera? Are they like meeting for the first time, or do they already know each other?
That's a good question.
'Cause I don't remember.
I think it would be the first time.
I think so too.
Because I mean, they would if they already knew each other, they would be establishing that in the show probably, but.
Or maybe never face to face. You know what I mean? Maybe they they did communicate, but it was like comm links or never face to face until then.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd just be curious how that first interaction goes between the two of them. You know.
Yeah, it's a good question.
See what they.
I'm looking forward to I've watched Rogue One like three times. I think I'm looking forward to watching it again. Though.
Yeah.
I'd like to pick up on it a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's a good question though. I can't remember that. But I was just happy to have Saw on screen. Like they've hinted at the cameo. They said he was going to come. Hopefully, we see some more of him. But I'm looking forward to it. But it ended on some sour terms, kind of with Luthen.
Not on the same page right now.
No, for sure not. We go back to Ferrex real quick. We're going to see that Bix has been captured by these gods, and we see that Deidre is on planet. Deidre is on Fennec. She came down here. She got all of her. She basically got the approval from the higher up. So she's here with her gods, her tech team. She's got a doctor, she's got all of it. You know what I mean?
She's got the Qyburn of gave it to like who Qyburn should have played.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this doctor is Qyburn from Game of Thrones.
Fucking freak.
Yeah, for real. We see that she's been basically like questioning that Pac guy, a friend of hers, Bix's friend, all night long. It seems like he looks beaten. He looks tortured. Kind of looks like he had a real bad go. Mm-hmm. Seems like Bix is probably going to be next. Not great. Don't love that. And then we go to our closing scene, which is just now that Seth said the Death Star thing, all of these scenes make so much more sense in my mind. Like, I was just literally just saying, they close out with Cassian, and he's literally just getting like better at his job. He's taking on like a little bit of a leader role with the guys. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to, hey,
he's the leader of his group for sure.
Yeah, like hey, let's pick it up a little bit. Let's compete for the day. The guys are listening to him. You can tell.
Yeah.
And to me, I was just kind of like, we should have left on Bix. Like we should have just left on that kind of almost a scary note. You know? Like, oh shit, what's gonna happen to Bix?
Yep.
But now that you say that, makes the fucking Death Star thing makes so much sense to me now.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes so much, even for like that scene kind of a thing. I feel like that makes so much sense that they would close it out and he's building the Death Star right there.
It's got to be like I said, some kind of significance. It could be like like the ATSTs or whatever. But
just when Nick said he destroys it in the other thing that he's in, so he's going to create it in this thing.
Destroy the thing you create. Yeah,
it seems like it's
be a nice full circle thing.
Yeah, once you said that, I think it's locked in.
Even like
it seems too perfect.
Even like when the show started, you were saying like who asked for this kind of a thing, and it's just like, all right, yeah, it's it's just a prequel story, and prequels are tough to do unless you have. If you're gonna
like
do
that,
a prequel story,
exactly.
Like you need to have something that we don't know to still twist it.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. If Andor's literally building the fucking Death Star with his bare hands, literally building it with his bare hands.
98%.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that's a good call, man. That's a great call.
Before we do 9, definitely gotta go.
Oh yeah, for sure, do it up. But like I was saying at the beginning, before we started, I loved that episode. That was an episode that I really liked as far as this whole season as a whole. That was one of my more favorite ones. I would say top 3.
Yeah, I loved both of these. So I'm surprised to hear. We'll see what you think about the next one. Why you don't think it's as good?
You know what? It's funny. Well,
maybe this new point of view you got now.
If we look at it through the same lens as the other, we were mentioning the 3-part arcs. Like if this is another 3-part breakout, say, the first 2 episodes 1, 2, and 3, my least favorite was 2. 4, 5, 6, my least favorite was 5.
True.
So maybe there is something to this middle episode thing. And both times I kind of said the same take, which was you could have done, say if the episode, whatever, was 30 minutes. You could have taken 10 minutes, put it into the first episode, 10 minutes, take it into the second episode, and then just cut the other 10 minutes. And I kind of feel like that again with this episode, to be honest. There was a couple of things where I was like, all right, that was needed. But for the most part, I felt like it was a lot of them building this ship. or if it was a ship, or whatever they're building. It was a lot of it. I was just like, dude, what are we doing here? I was like, all right. And I kept thinking to myself, like, I know that's what we're doing with this show. We're trying to tell the story of the little guy, but I was just like, I don't care.
Right.
Not that I don't care, but I was like, I get it.
We get it.
Yeah. I get it. I get what we're doing here. We're building something. We're doing the same job over and over and over and over again. But I don't know. To me, this one was a...
I feel like the producers or the directors were like you said, pushing it a little too much, but they were trying to drive home, trying to make the viewer maybe feel the same feeling that
I like that.
the repetitiveness, the like monotony, like
put yourself
all
in
that shit.
Put yourself in the shoes.
Exactly, but maybe they went a little overboard with it. I'm with you, but
you know what my favorite part of this episode was? I'll tell you easily. Deidre.
Oh yeah,
Deidre. She's been a very stern, very focused, very level this whole show so far. Been a good character. This episode was the first time to me she got a little scary. I was like, oh, this.
She's guaranteed not going to be a good turn. Like right.
I
proposed early on that maybe she had some good in her.
Yeah. No,
clearly not going to happen at this point.
She's starting to turn. She's starting to get a little darker.
Yeah, she's getting sucked into the system a little bit. She seemed like she was going to be different, but she still is a little different. She's more,
She's like more passionate though than most of them.
But she's also brainwashed and like
fully brainwashed.
Uniformity is good and like join the system.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't. For whatever reason, she's just a lot more. I guess not overly prideful. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the Empire, for lack of another word, I mean, arrogant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't have that.
She's falling into it now, though. I feel like she's slipping in.
Yeah, she's the opening scene of this one. She's very like, I don't know if it's just the acting, but she's very like mean looking.
Yeah,
she's like right in Bix's face. Like she was very mean.
There's one line too at some point in this episode that I loved. She was like, the worst thing that you can do right now is bore me.
Yes, is bore me. Like the accent too is so good.
Yeah, that's a Ramsey Bolton line.
That is such a Ramsey Bolton line. Actually, that's a great call.
Yeah.
She's like, wives all the time. You know what happens when you bore me.
Yeah, or she's like, you're in my net. Are you a fish or are you bait or like something like that too? Just like it's really like, oh man, yeah.
It gives her the chills.
We also see that her assistant is he's starting to like really be like a good supporter too. She's starting to get like some troops under her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think she's starting to develop her own.
Drink
team.
The potion.
Yeah,
drink the
She's
Kool-Aid.
starting to get a little confidence. She's got her guys where she's like a new NFL coach. She's bringing in new players. She's getting her scheme mixed into the offense. She's starting to run her shit. You know what I mean? She's starting to confidence up.
Yeah, she's maybe a little recency bias. She's had a few good wins recently, so she thinks she's the boss.
Yeah, she definitely has. She's been winning this whole show.
She's riding the high. We'll see if it's long-lasting power.
Yeah, we'll see. I like her character though. I'm not gonna lie. Most of these bad guys, for Star Wars, it's just the Sith. They don't really have too many like bad guys that aren't Jedi. You know what I mean? That actually have like Grand Moff Tarkin a little bit.
Yeah,
but not really.
They got going to the last trilogy too. There was a decent one too. General Hux was the same guy. Like just that like he was basically like the Grand Moff Tarkin of the new trilogy.
All right.
So he was another good one. He was decent too. He again, like the whole trilogy turned him into an awful character, but he was good at first.
Yeah, but it's cool to see someone. That's
like a deeper role. The guy from Rogue One was good too.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Fuck. Oh man, what the hell is his name? The actor. Oh shit, I can't think of it. He's a popular guy. But yeah. He was
good in that too.
In that movie.
Yeah,
he is. He's good in Rogue One. Yeah, go ahead. Sneak through. Go that way a tiny bit. Well, let's get into it. Episode number 9. Nobody's listening. Interesting title again.
Yeah.
I like the titles give away a lot. Some shows. Not this one. This one's always weird. We open up. We see right where we kind of left off. We see Deidre questioning Bix. We're on Fennec, and Deidre's learned a lot from Pac. It seemed like it took him a little while to talk, even though she mentions that it seemed like he didn't have too much. It would seem like this guy wasn't like he's not like a Luthen, say, or a Saw.
Right.
Sure. He seems like peon level rebel.
Yeah, he's got like the bare information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even with that, he was still like hush hush, closed lip. It took a lot to get any information out of him.
Yep.
But eventually, Torture came through in the end. He started to sing a little bit. Seems like Deidre's starting to learn a lot of information, a lot about Bix, Fennec, Cassian.
Yeah, the whole operation.
The whole operation as a whole. And right away, she's kind of threatening, not threatening, threatening is the right word. So I want to just have a normal conversation kind of a thing. Like, if you just cooperate, like, this can be like a piece of cake. Like, we can just have a conversation, just get this done. Otherwise, we can do it the other way. I had this creepy doctor over in the corner.
I got Qyburn over here.
Exactly,
Qyburn in Star Wars.
And that's actually when she says that line that I had just mentioned earlier. The last thing you want to do is bomb me right now. And I was just like, oh, man, you're starting to get, like I said, you're starting to get kind of scary, DJ. I like it. You're starting to get real Empire. And, of course, Bix, she's a tough girl. She's not cooperating at all. So, unfortunately, we know what's probably going to end up happening there. We're going to... She leaves him with the doctor, basically. Deidre leaves. She's like, all right, I'll come back in a little while. The doctor will get you
Let me know if you change your mind.
We go to Cassian, and we see that he's really getting the hang of this label life. He's trying to push the table to work harder and win the day shift. We see that this old man that's a part of the group, he has been here for a while, it looks like. He's fucking slowing down. Seems like he's gotten some problem with his hands and shit like that. So Cassian, being, like I said, the guy who's starting to step up, be the leader now, he's like, all right, let's fucking switch around here. I'll go over here so that I can help him out, you know what I mean? The whole crew's listening to him.
I think 40 shifts left, right?
40 shifts left, yeah 40 shifts left. But all the guys seem to be listening to his lead and shit like that. Andy Serkis even comes over and is like, what are you guys kind of doing? And they kind of, this guy's fucking hurt.
Yeah.
He looks at him, he's just like...
He's like trying to say something to be a hard ass, but like I think he's more like curious as to like he knows what's going on, but he still wants to like be a hard ass.
Yeah,
what do we like?
Almost kind of like a little like what you guys do.
Yeah, right. But he's still got to be a hard ass, so he's like, what is it like break time over here or something? You know what I mean? Like something like that. But he knows damn well what's going on.
Yep. But
it was weird that Cassian like deflected the credit a little bit. I wasn't sure what the meaning of that might be.
That I actually just laughed at. That I just genuinely took as a slight comedic relief in this never-ending non-comedy show.
All right.
But I could be totally wrong at that at all.
Yeah.
Because the guy was even just like totally just like, what the fuck? This kind of thing. Like, come on, really?
That must be what it was. Because I thought it was weird that he was trying to like portray himself differently to Andy Serkis.
Maybe.
But then by the end of the episode, he's
just straight
all out,
yeah,
straight up them. So
yeah.
So it could have just been comic relief, I guess.
Because Star Wars always has a little
need a little bit right now too. Yeah,
this is dark. Suicide.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
True.
And like we said, we're literally like at a death camp. It seems like. I mean, this place is intense.
Or could be setting up that black guy, that character that he gave the credit to, like establishing his character a little bit.
That's true.
Maybe get him on board too by like beefing up his confidence a little bit.
One thing I did see actually is
that could,
not the black guy, but a different guy in their squad is in Rogue One. He's one of Cassian's like right hand men in Rogue One.
No way!
Oh,
really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the one that they're talking actively, the one he's actively talking to, like when he comes out of the bathroom.
I think so. I caught it. Or I saw that little fact like on a YouTube episode a couple weeks ago. Someone else, and
find that Ash.
But yeah, he's someone like one of Cassian's go-to guys in Rogue One.
I'm gonna have to go and find that. That's very intriguing.
Bro, let me tell you something. Rogue One's getting watched right when Andor ends. I might just go right on Disney Plus and just might go right into Rogue One.
Yeah, no doubt.
You could watch it now and then you catch the next few things they drop.
Yeah, right.
Too, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I wish I knew the details, but
that would make sense though. I like it. We go to Bix and she is with this doctor and Deidre. And basically, he secures her into this chair, and they're going to put this, like, almost like a headphone device, basically, over her head. And he explains where this sound comes from that they basically got from, I don't even know where, some crazy planet, but it's a torturous sound. It's just going to basically demolish your brain.
They play the music from the cantina just over and over and over on a loop.
Imagine if that was
what? Just on loop over and over and over and over again.
Oh, shit, that would have been great. But basically, yeah, it kind of sounds like that's, Guantanamo Bay kind of shit. You know what I mean? We're just going to play this fucking shit over to you over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Probably massively loud, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah.
Until you just kind of lose your shit. And it doesn't seem to take that long because we see Bix and you can see her just like, oh, fuck. And then she's like screaming in agony, basically, by the, like, I don't know, 10 seconds.
Yeah. And then when they go back to her, too, she ain't doing too well.
No. We see that Cassian is actually working on an escape. He hasn't had any mentions of it, any signs, nothing in that first episode 8, but a little bit finally. He's gonna go to the bathroom. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go take a quick run to the bathroom. Gets there, punches out a little panel on the wall, and you see that there's a little fucking blade, basically like a little knife. And one of the pipes that's there, you can clearly see has been scratched into quite a bit. So him and maybe another person or something, they've been taking turns, whatever it is. They've been trying to saw basically into this pipe with this blade.
Or it's like too. I think he's picking up on like the guards and like their shifts and where they are at certain times. So he knows he can't do it in all one quick thing. So he's like, hey, we have like X amount of seconds every single day at this time to cut into it this amount of times. Yeah. It's like the attention to detail is it's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. They get stopped because basically, he gets stopped because as he's in the bathroom doing this, basically with the robot, the droid comes in over the thing, says basically return to your station kind of a thing. And we see, I would imagine the person that Luke has to be talking about. He meets with this guy here, black guy. We haven't met him yet. He's not part of his table, so he's someone that he's just met either when they're sleeping kind of thing.
Yeah, like in his cell or whatever you call it. Yeah.
But clearly, the two of these guys together, they've been taking a lot of notes visually because they learn that they say anything that moves. So I don't know if there's also escalators in this fucking place, but at least the elevators can't get shocked on the elevators.
Right.
Like at the floor, I guess they couldn't have done it in the elevators. It doesn't work. I guess it has to be level or some shit like that.
Was it the railing too?
And the handrails as well, which makes you think that we're going to be doing some fucking shimmying along a rail or some kind of thing like that. But very interesting. They're already starting to put little pieces.
This
together.
one they're talking too about the like the elevator. Too. Yeah, and they're like, he's like, oh, let it go down all the way, and he's like, no, halfway. Like, there's like something about that too. Like,
yeah. So I think that's gonna be key on the prison break too. Like, the way that they make all the prisoners go into program. It's because I think they can't allocate all the power. Like, they can't keep the work floor secure while they operate the elevator or something.
A ton of sense.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so like they have to like transfer the power throughout the prison and. That might be their window to act.
Yeah.
Is while the elevator's moving.
While this, I think the Empire is doing a great job of sleight of hand with this entire prison of making it seem like the worst place.
It's impossible to get out.
Exactly. When in reality, it's severely undermanned.
Yeah.
And not even properly powered and stuff.
Like I said, same thing as the Empire throughout their entire career. Just like not enough attention to detail on little things. It was like they could have prevented it right underneath their nose the whole time.
Constantly thinking they're bigger and better than they are, basically.
And so the guy who is in that crew and is in Rogue One is Melshi.
Oh, okay.
Or Scott Melshi. He's like a dark skinned guy.
Perfect. I knew that made sense as soon as you said it.
But yeah, he's part of that crew. And I think he's the guy you were just talking to.
I was like, right away, there's no way it's any of these guys that he's working with. I was like, I would recognize them. They're all kind of losers. There's none of these guys that he's working with are rebels. You know what I mean? It's just the dumb camera.
So he's in all of Rogue One.
Yeah.
Or like I know. I'm trying to think.
I just was like clicking through all the people and. Everybody was just like only appears in Andor, and then I pulled up this guy's Wikipedia.
Nice, because
and
of course,
it's massive.
Yeah,
he's in a lot of shit. So I think that's the one.
What's going on my brain? There we go.
So yeah, he's gonna be the rescue of Gene Erso.
That's the guy I was thinking of for Rogue One. I couldn't think of his name. Same thing. Like he helped build the Death Star, and he's also gonna lead to the demolition of the Death Star. Galen Erso, yeah.
That's Jimmy Smith, right?
No, he's
somebody else.
He's the main character. The girl's like father.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that Jimmy Smith?
No.
No. Damn, I thought it was.
Galen Erso.
Where were we? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Like the prison. He's talking to. Was it Melshi?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So, yeah, we found out that we've been working on our plan finally. We got a little partner in crime. Like I was saying, yeah, there we go. I knew I was saying something. The table that he was working with, like I said, kind of seemed like not the rebel type.
No, I thought that'd be his crew, like how it was earlier in the season when they got the credits and all that. But like, I don't want this to be my crew. Like,
no.
I'm gonna need other guys. Like he knew it kind of. I think off the beginning too. He's like, I'm gonna need some more guys within this whole entire camp, not
the
just
sign
a small
language guy
crew.
Might come into play a little bit just because of the sign
just as
language.
a communicate,
exactly.
just as a communication,
sending some signals there and there. I could see that.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, I don't know.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to pick up on this like sign language thing to communicate with other cells. So he needs this guy. Like this guy's got it. it's your responsibility.
Yeah, I hear that for sure. And that old guy, again, we kind of see wasn't doing good, doing even worse now. It seems like he's dragging ass. He's really lagging behind. We see Bix, like you mentioned earlier. She's looking like Pac was looking earlier. She looks fucking beaten down.
Yeah, like eyes rolling in the back of her head. She's not doing well.
Sweaty, gross, dirty. Just looks like she's been fucking thrown to the mud.
Yeah.
But we find out that she's still being tortured for information. We find out that Pac is going to be hung, which was, this guy came in and he was just like, what are we going to do with Pac? And Deidre's just like, I don't know, like, just do whatever you want kind of thing. I'd love to hang him. I was just like, I'd love to hang him? I was like, what a fucking weird thing to say about somebody.
And she's like,
jeez.
Yeah.
Do what you will, kind of do what you will kind of thing. But she says that we're going to need Bix alive. We need Bix alive so that basically we can
hang. Hang her bad.
Heads on spikes.
Only reason that we can, the only reason why we need her is so that she can identify Luthen. I was like,
then after that, maybe.
Yeah. But it seemed like she got, we didn't find out really anything yet because she kind of was just like storming out. But I would have to imagine she probably got a little bit of the information that she probably needed.
Yeah.
We go to Molly Montha. She is in that cool ass like Senate chamber thing that Yoda and Emperor Sidious fight in. Mm-hmm. And she is kind of making her plea, basically, kind of saying that the Empire is getting too big for their bridges too fast. Some people are booing, just straight out. There's like, boo! Yeah. You got a couple people that are like, she's right. Listen to her, hear her out, kind of a thing.
I love the ones that they just turn the lights off on their like pod.
I was gonna mention this. They're just out.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you, I'm out of here. Like, because I think they even show it. There's one guy kind of in the background. And I was watching him, like, he turns his lights off and then, like, turns around and just, like, leaves his, like, pod thing.
Yeah.
So he's just like, no, I'm out of here.
All right. You kept hearing that sound, too, because when you hit the lights, it's like everyone knows it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Boo!
I keep hearing that shit.
Yeah.
But I thought that was just funny, just the like the jeers from the crowd. Just like, I would have thought she's got good ideas.
Shut up.
She stinks.
It's like you're in, like, a high school, like, lower level class, like, trying to present your thing, and it was like, talking shit about your outfit.
You got the old dude from the Muppets in the background, like criticizing her.
And these are all supposed to be like you'd imagine, like elected politicians. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, guys, let's button up, have a little respect here.
Not buying it. Out of here. Lights off.
Which is why she's ready to do some drastic measures, you know?
True. Yeah, she's had enough.
She's tried that fucking bullshit attempt.
The political way, the good guy approach.
Not the way to go, not the avenue.
Time to take the gloves off.
The Empire's already grown this big, and they're getting, you know what I mean? They're having this much power. They just keep getting more.
Yep.
Time to take drastic action.
Yep.
But she leaves. We go back to her little driver as she's heading out, and we find out that her cousin has just arrived, and she seems like super surprised by it. She's like, my cousin's here? Like, right now? Like, fuck. All right, word. Like, let's go see her. So I was like, all right, this has got to be somebody we know. Let's fucking find out who it's going to be. Before that, though, we find out, we go back to the prison, and they're back in those waiting lines, like they're in the tunnel, basically, like waiting to leave work to go into their quarters. So they're kind of waiting in line, but chaos is kind of starting to ensue. We kind of realize that we've been here for a long time is the first thing they say. We've kind of been waiting here for like a really long time compared to normal. Like, what's going on?
Yep.
And then the guy that does the sign language, he's kind of talking to his dude. He's saying that there's reports of something going down on level 2. Next thing you know, the power switches off entirely for the whole thing. Cuts back on. Then there's an alarm sounding. So, fucking everyone's kind of like on high alert. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, is somebody else breaking out? Like,
he's like going faster too with the sign language. Like he's like, come on.
Yeah, he's bugging out a little bit. But they're all getting pretty worked up. It seems like something's going on in the prison. I was like, oh shit! Like right away, I was like, is somebody else already breaking out before Cass? I was like, that's just gonna make breaking out a lot.
Yeah, come on.
You know what I mean, like as soon as someone breaks out, security's gonna get doubled down, and we're gonna be really fucked.
Yep.
But we go back to Molly Montha, and we find out her cousin is no one other than Vel. We've seen this girl. She keeps poking up everywhere in all different places. Turns out she's also the cousin of Mon Mothma.
There's some weird vibes with these two in this scene. Especially now that you said that they're cousins. I didn't realize it either, but...
Well, that's what, the driver says. I guess it could not be, but...
kind of deals like, I don't know. They're sitting there.
They at least present publicly as cousins. I thought they were, but...
Yeah.
You're right, it could be a cover for the way they can see each other or whatever.
Make like a reference to that family, though, too. She says like you could go be like the rich girl in our family, like you're supposed to be, or something like that along the line. When she's leaving,
like, did you ever think this would happen to us or whatever? Too, like,
yeah,
you ever think this is what we become?
She also says too, which I got weird. Like I'm just gonna say it, just like weird, like lesbian vibes. Was that like they're talking about that, and like she's like, yeah, all the good ones are taken, and then she like looks at Mon Mothma like winks and smirks, and I was like,
Well,
hey, yo.
Like, I was getting the vibe earlier from this episode that Vel and Cinta have a thing going on.
Yeah, could be.
Big time, I was thinking. That's the vibes that I was picking up on, because when Cinta was saying that she was like, that Vel had to leave and she was staying, like, Vel was clearly very upset. Yeah, like upset and...
Yeah. Two's a distraction, or too suspicious.
Yeah. That was the vibe. I got it from her big time.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
get
a
it
good
from
point.
my mom.
Oh, could just been me watching it, but
It is 2022.
Hey,
yo.
Everything's got it. But that was a nice little drop. I was like, all right, like I said, we knew what we like. If they say like cousin, it's like, all right, we're gonna know who this is. Like, who is it gonna be? I wasn't suspecting Vel. I was like, oh shit.
It's the wave.
But she keeps popping up. Like I said, she's popped up fucking last week when she gets the task to go kill Andor. Now she's popping up as my mother's cousin. I was like, okay, this girl's fucking everywhere. We go to Cassian, and he is going to ask Andy Serkis about escaping for the first time. Basically, they're chilling out. They're in their quarters. They're just resting for the night. And he's like, you've had to think about escaping this place. Andy Serkis just like, yo, shut up, like shut it down, kind of a thing.
You can't say that shit.
Yeah,
Stop.
And Cass kind of does what he's done a few times. Kind of talks about the arrogance of the Empire. He's like, yo, like no one's fucking listening right now. Like they don't care about us enough to listen. Like they don't think that we're ever going to escape. They don't like. They're not going to take all the extra steps to listen to us. No one's listening. Like, how many gods are there?
Yeah, I'm saying this out loud to prove the point that they're not listening. Like,
which is where the title.
Me saying this right now, is proving that you're not listening.
Yeah, no shit. If somebody was, they'd be like down here right now, kind of a thing.
Yeah, to prove their point that they are, but nope.
Yeah, but Cassian clearly getting a little annoyed. That's how like the scene kind of ends. He's just like, no one's listening. Kind of a thing.
Yeah,
like,
right. That's the last thing he says. Yeah.
But Andy Serkis just ain't having it. He just he's got like 240 days or something like that left. So he isn't even thinking about.
It's waited out at this point. Yeah.
That's what Cass kind of wants. So he's like, dude, I don't like. It's fine. I get it. Like I get it. 240 days and you're out of here. Just like tell me what you know before
on the
you
way
leave,
out. Yeah.
So that at least I can try to. I have fucking 3,000. Look at my ticket, bro. Look at this fucking thing. I'm here for a grip. But like I said, Andy Serkis just literally fucking turns over.
He's like, yeah, good night.
Tucks his hand between his legs and goes right off to sleep.
Because there's no blankets in this prison camp.
True, actually, that's a good point. You know what? That takes away my whole wrapping a sheet around your feet idea that I had earlier. It's gone. No sheets. How do you fucking no sheets, no pillows? How do you sleep?
By tucking your hands between your legs for warmth.
Like, being really tired.
It's just like hanging there.
Yeah, good night.
Oh my god, that'd be awful. I can't sleep on my back at all. I'd be miserable. I have to try to make it with my stomach.
Yeah.
We see that Deidre is updating the Imperial higher-ups on her findings, and she is going to try and tie Andor and Luthen to the Aldani heist. And at first, they kind of like, doesn't that seem like a little bit of a reach? But then she kind of starts laying it out a little bit more and explaining it, and Qui-Gon's like, it seemed like he had a little bit like, you've been doing so good so far.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's been
run with it. Girl.
Yeah, he's been impressing her recently to begin with, so I feel like he's kind of catching on a little bit more. So
yeah, I'm not gonna shut down.
No, yeah.
All right, you know what? You've been doing good work. Keep going. All right, I trust you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems like they're getting a nice little repertoire back and forth. They mentioned Marva, like you question Pac, you question Bix, did you question Marva? And she was like, nah, she's already like too frail for that shit. But we can use her still. We can leave her exactly where she is. Andor came back for her once already. She might come. He might come back again.
So we just got people watching her right now, and that's it.
Yeah. Good idea.
Smart.
Again. Smart. Yeah, exactly. Smart. No need to. As soon as you said that, she's too frail. Exactly. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how are you going to torture an old person? They're going to like last 2 seconds before their heart just like gives out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Is this when she's talking about the ship too? They found a stolen ship.
Oh, I think so.
I don't know what's this, but like the plan that she comes.
I think it's coming up in a second.
Oh, the plan she comes up with that too is like, damn,
very good.
She's a savage.
Yeah. No, she's the star of the employee of the month for sure.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Star employee of the month. You know what I mean? We go to the prisoners and we find out that an entire floor or a level. I don't even know how exactly we break up this prison. If it was a whole floor, that's even more. It might have been.
Yeah, I would say like level. It's like during that I compare it to like like when they're going in between their shift and back to their camp.
All right, yeah, like
whatever you want to call that. Pod.
Room, pod. Yeah. I mean, that makes more sense than a whole level.
So like the 7 teams of 7.
Yes, that would make more sense. But we find out that the whole team basically was fried. The whole thing fucking killed. Panic instantly kind of like sets off. Even Andy Serkis is like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, what the hell is going on, kind of a thing. And Cass right away is like, yo, like, don't fucking do that. Like, don't panic. Like, chill out. Because he's like, if
we don't know. Yeah, the
Right.
more that we act like we don't know, the better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they see us panicking, that means that we know something, and if we know something, they might just fucking wax us too.
Yeah.
Let's just keep being the the due diligent workers. Let's just keep another day on the shift line, and maybe we can just keep going forward.
I think this is the first time that Andy Serkis is kind of like siding with Cassian too. Like he's like at first he's having that oh fuck moment, but then he's like, oh wait, no, he's right.
Yeah.
So like I got to get my guys in line right now.
Yeah.
And like just everybody just shut up and put your hands above your head.
It's
Act
only
like you don't
been
know what's
on
going
program.
on.
Yeah, it's only been 30 days, but like I said, his work group clearly takes him pretty seriously, and it seems like I would imagine that Andy Serkis is the manager of all these guys, so he's got to be seeing that. He's probably like, all right, this guy's not an idiot. He's fucking clearly knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Well spoken. He's a good worker. Probably fucking trust him a little bit at least.
There's no chance we got like a Squid Game thing going on here, right?
Such as?
Where like the person who's in charge of everything is part of the
Oh,
is one of the prisoners or something, Like
That'd
the
be
old dude in Squid Game was like the mastermind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could be a good call, yeah.
Random
Because it
thing,
does
but-
have very like Squid Game vibes right now.
Well, there's the weird old guy who's dying right now, right?
Yeah.
Or just died, I guess. So maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Unless
Hopefully he wasn't.
Yeah, for real. Who knows what that medic did? Maybe it was like all a ploy.
Oh yeah.
I like what you're
true.
thinking. This is good. That's interesting. I didn't think of that, but that would be crazy now if it was literally that old guy. That'd be fucking nuts.
Yeah, he's
If you just called that one, I'd
He's
be
Snoke.
very,
He's
very
Snoke.
impressed. I'd be very impressed.
well, he'll have a soft spot for Andor / Keef / Clem.
Yeah. / Clem. Good call. That was a while ago.
Yeah. Now his name's Keef. Great name.
Keef.
Great name.
Keef, Clem. Both, I like both of those actually. Clem sounds like a good guy. Clem sounds like a guy that I would trust.
Yeah. Clam.
But yeah, interesting. Cassian, man, like I said, he's not just taking. He seems to be taking control of all the situations. He seems very. He's always constantly level-headed. We go to Ramsey, and he is at home for the first time in a while. He's not at work, but his mom is still just giving him a ton of shit, which I thought was funny. And Ramsey's like, yeah, you've fucking been snooping through my stuff. That cracked me up. I was like, I love that this is Star Wars, and we just have Ramsey yelling at his mom for snooping through his shit. Did you find my porno, Mom?
Stay out of my room.
How many times do I have to tell you not to interrupt me? I'm cleaning my room.
She does suck though. Damn.
Oh man, she is. She's tough. She's tough.
Yeah.
She's tough. She's on her. She's on her son's case.
Hates you till she loves you till she hates you.
No shit. He mentions that he's been promoted though. He's got a promotion at work, and that turns
So
her
shut up,
frown
Mom.
right upside down. Yeah, right away. She's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you."
I always knew.
Yeah, Uncle will be so proud too. Like just so proud. And Ramsey just looks almost more defeated somehow. Like being promoted in a way was almost like a bad thing. He's like, now I'm just like further in, you know what I mean? I'm just farther into the corporate line of death and 9 to 5 cube life.
Yep. Yay.
Yeah, the deeper he goes in, the hotter it's gonna be to get out, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? But we go from there, and then we see him. He's gonna show up, I guess, at Deidre's work. I don't know if they work in similar places, but then Ramsey's, after he leaves his mom, he's gonna go to Deidre's work, and he's gonna thank her for the promotion. This scene was fucking weird.
Yeah, this is what I have as his turning point to him eventually being
Good?
Good.
Okay.
Is that he throws himself out there to Deidre, and Deidre's not really about it, and he kind of seems defeated. So I think like between what happened to him already and then Deidre kind of turning him down, I think the combination of the two is going to lead to him being like, all right, fuck this. Like, I'm joining the rebellion.
Fair enough.
You can kick me down so much before I've had enough. Okay. So I think this is going to be the final thing that turns him around and gets him back to gets him on the rebellion side.
I like that.
I'll say, in Deidre's defense, I don't blame her for being weird.
Yeah, get out of here,
She
you
was
fucking creep. Yeah.
She was even like, "Are you stalking me? Like, this is my job." And he was just like, "I just show up here a couple times and hope I might see you in passing." And she's just like,
So
That's
stock.
He's like, what?
"So stop."
Right.
Yeah.
But then, like, he says so weird. He's like, it's something like. He's like, when I was in the room with you, like I knew that like my life had purpose.
Yeah, this was.
Yeah, that was
What
weird.
the fuck is wrong with you, dude? I was like,
Very stocky.
if you're into this girl, you're playing your hand too strong, bro. You gotta relax.
Yeah.
Pretend like you don't like her. That's when she comes crawling to you.
nothing less attractive than a desperate man. Like, that's what he looked like, desperate.
Dude, at one point, she's like even trying to like, all right, like, dude, like, just go back to your job. That you're welcome for the promotion. Like, I'm gonna go now. And he's like, grabs her. She's like, no, like, thank you. And she's like, all right, dude, literally, like, I can get you arrested right now.
Right.
You need to chill the fuck out.
Leave me alone.
But like I said, kind of a weird, a little bit of a weird scene. He was like tearing up.
I think this is his last stand with it.
He's like suicidally invested in this. Like, he's willing to do whatever.
Right.
So, or it seems like he's gonna do whatever he can for the dark side or whatever, for the Empire.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe if he gets shut down.
Now he's gonna get his heart broken.
Pours his heart out, turns the most evil version of himself, and then they still don't want him.
Yeah. He's like, maybe, you know what?
Like, all right, these guys are fucking.
Maybe it's not for me.
I like the way you just said that. That was like, it was like an evil pouring out of his heart, kind of. It wasn't even like a love thing. It was just like, I'm evil enough.
Yeah.
I'm evil too.
Right. So maybe it's
You're
like,
so evil and pure. I'm like that too.
Yeah. So maybe he doesn't necessarily like join he doesn't want to join the rebellion, but he just wants to see the downfall of the Empire.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm just doing this for my own good and
Right.
fuck the Empire, not necessarily. I believe in the rebellion and everything.
I got
it might just be out of spite.
Yeah, you might be right. It's very that storyline right there. That thing could go any which way out of like 5 different ways, and I wouldn't be surprised anyway.
You could also do more drastic things to earn the respect of Deidre.
Yeah,
and
just go like full blown.
Could be dead wrong.
Evil.
Yeah, it could be dead
kill
wrong.
Like 10 Jedis or something.
Yeah,
leave them on a doorstep. Like a cat bringing a mouse. Here you go, Deidre. I brought you a treat.
Pet me.
We're gonna go to actually the scene like that you kind of just mentioned though. Deidre's gonna leave Ramsey. She's gonna get to her office. She's gonna talk to our assistant, and it turns out that we've able to capture a rebel pilot.
This poor guy.
Yeah, we were able to capture a rebel pilot. The assistant, like I was kind of mentioning earlier, she's kind of got, like I said, she's a coach. She's bringing in her own players now. She's got herself a good little star under her. He's already taken it upon herself to call her crazy doctor. Already sent the crazy doctor over to the rebel pilot. So she's like, oh sweet, like good work. You did all that shit on your own. Nice, perfect. Like, let's find out how it kind of goes, kind of a thing. But like, oh shit, rebel pilot, that's not good. We go to Mom Martha real quick though. She is meeting with Tay Colma again, and we find out that again he's kind of almost doubled down on what he was saying about how hard it is to hide money right now. He's like, all right, the only thing that I can come up with basically to figure out this $400K withdrawal that you took out, aside from obviously just paying it, which she's like, if I had the money laying around, I wouldn't have called you.
Right.
He said, we need to get a loan. She's like, okay. She's like, and sure enough, he already has a guy in mind. I didn't take down his name. It was a name I never recognized, though. I don't know if it was something I was supposed to know. I didn't know the guy. It wasn't from my Star Wars lore.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking they go to the banking clinic on Camino.
Dude, let's go to the banking clinic. 400 credits. The banking clinic will sign your treaty.
That's how they get their credits.
Dude, if they went to Camino, I would have fucking died. I would have died. Oh my god, I would have died. I would have been in absolute stitches. Oh my god. But basically, Tay, he found himself like a little thug. Basically, it's apparently like a top-notch thug, like the Tony Soprano of thugs.
Not just a goon, yeah.
Yeah, top-notch thug. He can basically pay this off. It's one of the only, because you got to go outside the books, you got to go outside the Empire. You know what I mean? So he already took it upon himself to go try to find somebody. Mom Martha, though, she ain't having it. Apparently, she knows who this dude is. Doesn't like the hearings of it at all. And Tay's like, all right, should I try to find somebody else? And then they kind of just leave the scene there. She doesn't say anything, which gives me the impression that she's in the probably meeting with this crazy thug guy.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah. She's like wanting him to meet somebody else, but doesn't want to say it. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess, but.
I'm looking forward to meeting a little thug. When I hear thug, I just instantly think of like a Han Solo type guy, to be totally honest.
Yeah, smuggler cut.
Smuggler, yeah. Right away, that's kind of what I think of. Almost like, Cassian even. Cassian, fucking Han.
Right.
So I'm all down for one of those guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he sounds pretty legit, though, if he has that kind of money. Like,
yeah.
The kind of money that senators wish they had, you know.
Yeah, laying around 400,000 credits.
So he's,
you know I mean?
He's Pablo Escobar.
I wonder if it'd be
kind of shit.
Maybe too far-fetched, or get Senator Organa.
Yeah,
maybe.
Oh, this guy seems more criminal, no?
Yeah,
true. Yeah, that's true too.
It seemed like Mon had heard of him before. Like right away, as soon as the name, she was like, "Oh, I don't want to be associated with that guy," kind of a thing.
Yeah. But I'm with you. It might be some key person we know already.
Right.
Maybe.
Could be cool.
I'd be interested to seeing who it's going to be. I'm sure we're going to meet probably soon.
They go to the Wookiees.
Imagine that. Go to fucking Camino. Not Camino.
Kashyyyk.
There we go. I'm proud of myself for getting that one there, as you said it. Fucking, that was pulled out of the Battlefront 2 memory right there. We go to Deborah, Qyburn, and a couple of other Imperial, just a couple of higher ups. Not like a full-fledged meeting. Seems like they're almost like having a little brainstorming session kind of a thing. And it turns out this rebel pilot talked a whole lot. Told the Empire that there's a raid planned, and they're trying to figure out basically how they can go about having the rebellion continue with their plan. But they obviously can't just give this pilot back. They can't just say, all right, go back to your guys and pretend like everything's
on your way. Yeah.
So they're like, all right, what can we do? Like, can we destroy the ship? And they're like, all right, that's going to look a little shady and too suspect. That might make them say, let's hold off on this raid for a little bit.
Yeah.
So then, like you said, Deidre came up with a good plan. She goes, all right, how about we fucking stage this whole accident kind of a thing? Just the pilot died. That way they're like, oh, wow, freak accident kind of a thing. Let's just, no worries, we'll continue on going. They'll just find the ship lingering out in space. And then they'll continue with the raid. We know the raid's coming. We can catch the rebels right there. Bing, bang, boom. Qyburn's like, I love it. Put all of our troops on it. Double time it right fucking now. Good plan, like you said.
Very genius.
Because I definitely feel it. If you're the rebels, you're trying to do everything. You're obviously trying to keep everything so close to the vest. Everything's so secretive. If one of your ships all of a sudden just straight up gets kabloomy, that's all right.
I think she even
something's wrong here. You know what I mean? Like something's awry. Like why? Who shot down our ship for what reason? Like they must have known something.
Yeah, I think she even wants to stage the pilot dying in. Like she wants the pilot dead in the ship.
In the cockpit. Yeah. Right. It makes it look like an accident. Almost like he had like a fucking stroke or a heart attack kind of a thing.
Yep.
Because she said that they'll just find his shit floating off
and him dead. Like
and obviously not like not like a fucking blade in the throat, fucking blood
right.
all over the place,
Yeah.
Right. a normal death, like I said. Stroke, something like that. Something like that.
Poison, whatever it might be.
Something like that. Good idea. We go back to the prison. We find out that this old man, he's really doing fucking horrible. He can't even stand. He literally collapses on the way back to the quarters. They call for a medic to come on up. And Cassian and Andy Serkis are the only two that stay with him. Stay behind. They're chilling with the old guy. Everybody else has gone off to their quarters. And the medic comes in. Turns out he had a massive stroke. There's nothing that they can do to save him. And another kind of a dark moment in Star Wars kind of a thing. The medic basically euthanizes him. You know what I mean? Puts him out of his misery. So he says he'll have a nice peaceful death. And then he says you'll have a nice peaceful death, which is more than I can say for most of us. And right away, that kind of is perk up, yo, what the fuck do you know? What do you know, man? What do you know? Yeah. And the medic's able to kind of get the guy. He keeps asking for the gurney and the bag, basically, to wrap up this old guy with. And he's like, can I get that thing? And the guard walks off far enough away where he's just like, fucking things are fucking not going good. They're not letting anybody out, basically.
Because one asshole.
This guy was released from 4. But then he ended up in 2, and they were just like, "Yo, what the?" He was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he was released on 4. A day later,
he was on 2.
Went back into 2.
Yeah.
So as a result, they're beefing up the terms even longer.
Turns out
there's no leaving this place.
Yeah, exactly. No one's getting out of here.
Yeah.
And Andy Serkis, you can tell, sees it right away for the first time. Like we mentioned, he's only got 240 days left supposedly, but now he's like, "Oh fuck, that might be it forever," kind of a thing. Cass is like, "Yo, so how many men on each fucking floor?" And he's like, was he no more than 12, right?
Yep, no more than 12.
12 guys? I mean, they have, 7 by 7? There's 49 guys in each fucking room. That's a piece of cake. You can take that down easy.
You would think, yeah.
4.5 guys a man.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario. That's where the episode ends, though, right on that little, little cliffhanger there.
I mean, there's 7 rooms with 49 guys in each room on each floor. So that's...
True. It's
350-ish times 12 floors.
Yep.
Right? Or 7 floors, 12 floors.
This whole prison, like we were kind of saying, it's been they're doing a good job of sleighting hand and making it seem a lot more secure and well run than it really is.
Right. It's like the appearance of it is more intimidating than how they actually run it.
Yeah. And the power shifting thing I mentioned where
Yep, that's definitely going to play a factor.
Maybe it's not for the whole facility, but they have the power to that section and they can't control the floor while they move the elevator, it seems like. I don't know. So.
Yeah, something there with that.
They said they can't. Anything that moves that they couldn't run basically the same surface through it. Which makes sense. Yeah. You have to imagine say that floor all has to be connected to whatever the power source is. It'd be hard to do an elevator. You know what I'm saying? But we leave off, and I'd have to imagine next week will be another sort of heist. Will be a breakout. Breakout heist. Kind of thing.
And I think too, I'm going back to all Star Wars throughout the years, even in Andor. You figure they all escape, same original Star Wars. They're dressed as stormtroopers, clone troopers, and leave. like in the last one, like Poe Dameron, he escapes when FN is dressed as a stormtrooper. I kind of think the same thing's happening here. And then I remember like the original heist in this one where Andor's learning like how they walk and the appearance. So I think they might kind of tie that in here. I don't know if it's going to lead to kind of the same way they dress up and like they know their habits and things like that, how to escape. So I think Cassian's going to, some of the things he learned in that original heist, I think he's going to kind of coming around full circle with this one. How to escape.
I'm interested to see like what happens with Andy Serkis. Like first, his character seemed like he was like because he was like, all right, I only got 240 days thing. You can go and escape if you want to. I'm gonna be chilling here though. Now, hypothetically, if he's brought into this team, I'm interested to see what happens to him. I mean, I like his character. I like Andy Serkis as an actor too. So I'm kind of like, do we escape? And he just like, all right, I'm not a rebel. See you guys later. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go find a beach, kind of a thing.
Yeah, right. I'm
very curious to see what happens with Andy Serkis.
Right, he would be a key person if he was still around. So what will happen to him?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be into the fold now. Now that he knows he might not be getting out, and he's going to have a ton of information, and he's probably, I would have to imagine, got a little bit more a little bit more freedom inside the prison because he's the manager. He's been there for so long.
Yeah.
I would imagine that the Empire is going to be even less on guard with him than they would be for the rest of the prisoners.
They're like relying on them more to keep things under control.
Yeah, he literally he acts sometimes almost like the fucking almost if there was an Empire guard around. He's constantly telling them to shut up and keep quiet and stuff like that. Just being a hard ass.
Yeah. So if that guy flips, now you're in trouble.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, this episode to me was another. I was saying it to Luke when you were gone for a second. But the first 3 episodes was like an arc, and I said that my least favorite episode was the second one. Then 4 through 6 was like an arc, and I said my least favorite episode was 5. And then if this is the same way that we're thinking it's going to be, which
it'd be the same thing.
It'd be the same thing.
Yeah.
And I feel almost the exact same way. Like I don't think that the whole episode was useless, but I feel like you could have taken 10 minutes and put it into episode 8, taken another 10 minutes, put it into episode 10.
Yeah.
And the other 12 minutes could have been fucking scrapped.
I just like that the whole episode was 8 was just him gathering all the information, and now he's starting to
put it into action.
Now he's starting to put it into action.
I hear that.
And I think you needed a whole for the in depth what you need to do to escape. You needed a whole episode worth of seeing him gather the information versus in the first 30 days. He's like, oh yeah, this is how we escape, no problem.
Right. No, I agree. Like I said, this show's been fucking good. It's very, very good. It's very grounded, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, much more thought out, well devised.
Yep.
Just much more
love the attention to detail.
Even though it's Star Wars, everything else about it is more realistic. Like you said, the planning and stuff like that. It would have just happened in 2 days.
Right.
You gotta do your due diligence for a month or two.
Yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised that we've been in the setting of this prison for more than one episode.
Yeah,
I like the detail to it.
I'm interested for actually it's already tomorrow. I always forget that we record on Tuesday night, so we already have episode 10 tomorrow, and then we have 2 more after that, and that's it. So it's gonna be over before you know it too.
I know, crazy.
Well, we know that season 2 has already been greenlit. I think they already started filming too, to be totally honest with you. I think they're in filming now because I know that they wanted to. I know that Disney said that they didn't want there to be a huge layoff in between the 2 seasons.
Love that.
Yeah, I think
if you can get that after Mandalorian.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's almost exactly a year from when this, if it's next fall.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're shooting for at least.
That'd be nice.
I would love that.
Yeah, I know that they didn't want there to be too long of a layoff in between because the story is obviously very tight knit and closed. They're just telling it over 2 seasons. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But looking forward to it. Looking forward to see how we wrap this whole up. Let's see if we get any more Saw. Let's see if we get any. I want to see if we get K2 maybe. K2.
Any Jedi coming in? No.
This seems like it's not Jedi related. Even any
Emperor would be the only one I could see.
Yeah.
That'd be the only guy.
But even that, like I said, I don't even want that almost. You know what I mean? If I get the Emperor and
honestly,
hologram.
When you said that, a scene I would, especially if she keeps going the way that she's going and she keeps trending upwards, I would maybe like to see a Deidre Palpatine moment.
Yeah,
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, if it's when
she keeps doing such a good job and almost she's called before the Emperor and he's just you've done well. You know what I mean, kind of a thing.
Well, I think Empire Strikes Back. The first time you see the Emperor, Vader's kneeling down and it's like a holocron. Just that. His face or whatever.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think Deidre would be the character though. That's the one. If he is going to come in, I think that's the character I'd like to see him interact with.
That's a good call.
Or even like she gets like a call to Qyburn's office, like the boss man wants to see her. She comes coming into Qyburn's office, and Palpatine's just there too. And even if he's not like emperor, like if he's like, you know what I'm saying, like actual like looking like Palpatine.
He's just Senator Palpatine. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is crazy. Right. This is crazy.
Which like, no, I don't think he would be because it's after Revenge of the Sith, so he would be like deformed.
Oh yeah,
and all
right.
that.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yep, you're right. Good call. My bad.
But you gotta have something, yeah. I think
That'd be
just
cool.
a quick little thing.
That would be cool. I'd like that. Even if it is, like I said, if he gets called in like the Qyburn's fucking office, and he's just like you said, they're like on a hologram. Or something.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I would like that.
But other than that, it's the only Jedi I could see.
It's fair.
But I think that's gonna wrap it up for episode 9.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts for that one?
No. That's all I got. I mean,
wasn't my favorite, but I liked episode 8 a lot. So that's my takeaway.
yeah, that's interesting.
Really
so I said I was the opposite. It's not that I didn't like 8, but I don't know. I like that the plans are starting to get in motion now. I love that Andy Serkis is on board.
I hope Andy escapes as well. I think there's a decent chance he dies in the escape.
Yeah. Well, I think I kind of disagree that I don't think he if he escapes he'll be part of the rebellion. I think his end game was that he just wants to escape and just be free.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
I think he just be like, I'm in the beach, dude. Like,
he doesn't want. I don't think he wants to fight anymore. He's not really big on down with the Empire. I think his main goal is he just wants to get out and live his life.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. That's what I said. I said I don't see him being a rebel.
Yeah.
I see him going back to whatever planet Cassian got arrested on and going and chilling down on the beach.
Right.
Drinking some Mai Tai.
The South Beach.
Miami.
South Beach Star Wars, exactly. But tomorrow night, next episode, we'll be talking about that next week. We'll be talking about White Lotus next week. We'll probably, spend a little bit of time doing the first 3 episodes. Like I said, we're not going to do a deep dive like we would do with our other shows, but just kind of talk about anything we like, characters we like, plot lines we like, any ideas we have, which I already have one that I definitely want to, that hasn't come to fruition in the first 2 episodes, but I think it's going to happen that I'm going to talk to you guys about hopefully next week.
Is it possible to do a Black Panther review?
We're going to do...
Just watching it once in theaters? No notepad?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
At least I'll be able to do a rating, talk about some of the things we like. And stuff,
Yeah.
But,
Can't go scene by scene on something like that.
No. I mean, you probably got to have some overall, spoilers beforehand. You know what I mean? You got to let people know. Hey, by the way, spoilers are coming out
if you don't
right
go see
now.
Black Panther 2 this weekend, then you're a loser.
Yeah.
That too. That's the biggest takeaway out of it all.
But we'll definitely be back next week for Black Panther, Andor, Tales of a Jedi as well. We'll do that. I'll finish up those 3 episodes and we'll come back and we'll do those a little bit more in depth because I do believe as long as everything's good with you guys, this will be the squad that we'll be back here with again next week.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, which is even actually more perfect for if you on Saturday if you want to come with us. That way we'll all see everything and all that shit. So
99% sure. Just gotta double check with the lady.
Cool. All right, we'll figure that out tomorrow. But that is going to do it up for here. Oh Jesus, that's gonna do it us. That's going to do it up for us here tonight. Episode 13 in the books. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It was good to be back after a nice week off. It was much needed, but it was good to be back. Good show tonight. As always, I ask you guys to please share the episode around to your fellow friends, your family, anybody that you guys think might like it, especially if they're a Star Wars fan, because right now we're doing a lot of Star Wars stuff, you know what I mean? And like you mentioned, we got Mandalorian coming right around the corner.
Be that 100th subscriber.
That's right. That's right. Good call. Thank you, Mitz. Be that 100th subscriber.
Don't want to be late.
That's right. We'll be sharing that around a lot. We'll be mentioning that a lot going forward. Like I said, 100th subscriber, $40 AMC gift card we'll be giving out. We'll do a draw right here on the show. We'll definitely be following along with that, keeping you guys updated. Like I said, right now going into today's episode, I believe we were at 55 or something like that. So about room for 45 more people to get involved. But be on the lookout for that. Like
it doesn't stop there, though.
No, it doesn't. But please share the episode around. Like, subscribe to all the pages, leave a comment. All of that stuff helps us, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you to Mr. Luke Kleinen on the 1s and 2s. As always, buddy, couldn't have done the show without you.
Of course, brother.
Mr. Rogers, great job co-hosting. Pleasure as always to shoot the shit with you, bud.
Thanks for having me. Let's do it again next week.
That's right. We will catch you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.